The fog is gone, the sun is out, and it's time for baseball and Game 11 of the Cape League season at Veterans Field. Tonight, the Chatham Anglers host the league-leading Wareham Gatemen, who come in on a 5-game winning streak, with the Anglers searching for their first winning streak of the summer. We welcome you to the Cape Cod Baseball Network. With Jack Smith, I'm Andrew Selover. Jack, we only played 4.5 innings last night, but it was enough for Chatham to pick up a win, snap that losing streak at 2, and get back in the win column back to 500.
I was impressed by the A's ability to put up offense through the fog in a short amount of time. 5 runs for an offense that had scored just 3 runs across the previous 18 innings, and they did it in just 4 frames at the plate.
The long ball was a key part of that. 2 home runs yesterday. Iva Arquette picked up his first. John Bay picked up his third. He's tied for the Cape League lead. Meanwhile, on the pitching side, it could have gone wrong from the start for Griffin Herring, who put the first 3 on base, but he held yesterday Hyannis to just 1 run in the first. And after that, the pitching was very good, hoping for the same if you're the Anglers tonight with Liam Paddock on the mound.
The game completely could have gotten derailed in the first inning. With the bases loaded and nobody out, I think it was actually a stellar job for Griffin Herring to only allow 1 run. And it was pretty clear he didn't have his best stuff, but to be able to strike out the side in the first inning against a Hyannis offense that tormented Chatham the first time out in Hyannis, I thought it was a good showing from Griffin Herring, and an especially good one from Brian Zeldin in his A's debut.
Liam Paddock gets the ball tonight, the lefty out of Gonzaga, trying to replicate a 1-run, 5 1/3 inning start at Orleans about a week ago. He goes against Yoel Tejeda Jr. from Florida State in his first start this summer, returning to the Wareham Gatemen for the 2nd year in a row. We'll have more with the starting lineups. That pitching matchup will dive right in at the top of the hour. First pitch set for 7 p.m. here at Veterans Field. But when we come back, the Manager's Show with Sheets and Jack Smith is on the way. Sheets talking about his first fog experience at Veterans Field and a whole lot more. The Anglers Extra Pregame Show continues when we return.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Chatham Bars Inn is Cape Cod's premier 4-diamond oceanfront resort. With 217 luxurious rooms, guests have access to numerous amenities, including a private beach, complimentary children's programs, 4 award-winning restaurants, a new world-class spa, an outdoor pool, and tennis courts. Year after year, Chatham Bars Inn is recognized as one of the top resorts in the world. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Welcome back to the Anglers Extra Pregame Show. I'm Jack Smith, joined by Sheets for the Manager's Show. Sheets, yesterday a 5-2 win in just 4.5 innings. How was your first fog experience here at Veterans Field?
I'll tell you what, I've heard all the rumors and stories about the Chatham 5th inning fog, and to see it start in pregame and stick around and hang out and then eventually force us off the field. It was interesting. It was Cape Cod defined. It's Chatham. I loved everything about it.
Was there any strategy that went into playing yesterday's game differently, knowing the fog may end it early?
So, you have to get through 4.5. And I thought about coming out like roughly around the 4th and maybe like tripping out of the dugout and causing like a medical emergency just to like kill all the time. No, you just keep playing. We're going to be in the opposite of that situation at some point. So you just keep playing, let it all come into place. And the one thing about that wasn't my doing or Mitch's doing, it was really the umpires, and safety was an issue and a concern, and we both understood where they were coming from. You hate to end a ball game like that, but that's part of the Cape, and it was part of our game, and Mitch understands, and him and I, obviously, we'll play again down the road for sure.
How much of the time did you spend in the dugout looking around, admiring the fog, maybe being a little fearful of the fog?
I was happy that the wind was blowing, because at least it was starting to keep it moving, but it just kept coming, and it did keep getting worse. And it, when it gets dark here, it then starts to drop. Now the fog's on the field. It was different. We don't have that stuff back home, so it was pretty neat to see it in action. But it was one of those I don't really know how I would argue this. I think I'm gonna let the umpires tell me what we should do, and I'll just follow their lead. It worked out.
Offense had been scuffling a little bit, but 2 home runs and 5 runs yesterday in just 4 innings at the plate. What do you see from the bats?
Super proud of those guys. Everything we always talk about on here. We talked about making some adjustments, and you're starting to see guys take a good plan to the plate and execute it. And, we were kind of laughing a couple weeks ago about how, every guy gets up here and they want to hit that big 440-foot home run and announce their presence with authority, and that's going to make them feel really good when, in our left center gap, it's just 357. Like, you just scraped the fence. I know I've talked to that before. Like, if you just scrape the fence, you'll feel really good. And both guys yesterday just put good swings on the ball, and the ball takes off. And so when you've got good hitters, you got to kind of let them, give them some rope and let them get out deep in the water, and then eventually reel them back into the boat, give them a new plan, and then put them back in it. Those dudes went and took their plan and they ran with it, and that's how you're starting to see some guys turn over. We're starting to have better at-bats, more productive at-bats, and we're starting to get the better versions of our guys. We're almost there.
I'm Jack Smith talking with Sheets on the Manager Show. Sheets, you hand the ball back to Liam Paddock today against Wareham. Yeah. What do you hope to see from your lefty starter in his second start this year?
Man, we hope that it looks similar to what he gave us a couple weeks ago. Just phenomenal of who he is, what he's about, the comfortability he has in this league, the experience that he has, his pitch abilities off the charts. Just to continue where he showed that, man, he is one of the best pitchers in this league. Come out and give us a quality start. Actually, I was talking with Coach Smythe from Wareham, and just the key to this league is quality starts. If you get a quality start, you got a shot. If you give up too many early, you're always playing catch-up against really good teams and really good talent. So quality start's all we're asking for, and that's certainly why we gave Liam the ball.
You're facing Wareham for the second time today. How do you go about playing a team that you've seen before?
Jeremy Scheniger talking here with Jack Smith. So one of the things that I think about the second time is that was game one, and we are both two different ball clubs since then. And so, Ryan and I talked, it's one of those things, the more you keep playing, you get some familiarity. They've already flipped a little bit of their roster. We have some changes on ours, so we're different in a lot of different ways, but you still get a feel for who they are, what they do, how they play the game, and I think the more that you do that, you get some comfortability where you can expect when certain guys show up to the game in the ballpark. Coach Smythe, it's good to see he's got a good club, and for us, we just want to continue to challenge ourselves to get better, and you got to face good teams every night. That's the beauty of the Cape.
Wareham's gone 8-1 since being run ruled by Chatham on opening day, but today the Anglers and the Gatemen meet for the second time. Sheets, thank you for your time.
Appreciate you, Jack. Thanks, man.
That'll wrap it up for us here on the Manager Show. Jack Smith and Sheets. Let's send it back to Andrew Selover as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues.
Always fun to chat with Sheets pregame as we head into Game 11, a quarter of the way through the first regular season with Sheets at the helm of the Chatham A's. The Anglers are a perfect 5-5, 500, and searching for their first win streak tonight against the league-leading 8-2 Wareham Gatemen. First pitch in about 15 minutes, but when we return, catch of the day with Will Gasparino out of Texas. A whole lot to talk about with that Texas program. That's coming up next as the Anglers Extra pregame show continues from Veterans Field.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, located right around the corner from Veterans Field at 790 Main Street in Chatham. Pick up a pie on your way to the game or grab a calzone before first pitch. The dough for their specialty pizza is rolled right before your eyes. Eat in or take out, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and sometimes later. Call 508-348-0200. See their full menu online at sweettomatoescapecod.com. Sweet Tomatoes, a Chatham pregame tradition.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra pregame show. I'm Andrew Selover. For Catch of the Day, we have Will Gasparino out of Texas. Will, I've got to start. Big news out of Texas with the new hire of Jim Schwarzenegger. What was your reaction?
I mean, it was obviously shocking and sad that we're losing our old coaches, but, I mean, there's nothing we can do, and I'm excited to get a good team and have a chance to win next year.
Have you talked to that new coaching staff that's coming over from A&M?
I talked to them briefly the last few days, and they've been nothing but cool to me, so, yeah, I'm excited for what the future holds.
What do you anticipate the next couple of months look like with a new coaching staff coming in Austin?
It seemed hectic around the other day, like trying to, the portal closes in 10 days and trying to get our roster built and, them settling in, moving their families in, and figuring out which kids are staying and going and kind of just everything. And I mean, it's a new coaches, new everything, so kind of just getting used to that.
How do you guys, as a group of players that are set, at least for now, to return to Texas, handle all of this?
I mean, I think we're excited. We'll get a lot of new talent, a lot of younger kids, a lot of portal guys, and I think we just want to win at the end of the day. That's all that matters.
Flipping page to Chatham here, a quarter of the way through the season, what would you kind of conceptualize your start to the season as?
I think it's definitely a little bit of an adjustment you have to make out here. The competition's really good, and everyone throws really hard and has good stuff, so kind of just getting used to that and being able to adjust with a wood bat and making sure on time, just making the small adjustments. That's really all that's big to me, at least.
How do you make those adjustments?
Just, a lot of it's just being on time and simplifying everything, having a good approach to the plate and making sure you're swinging with the right pitches and kind of getting over failure quickly, being able to, like Sheets says, have a 30-minute memory.
One of the unique aspects of summer ball and baseball here on the Cape is the host family situation. You have a connection to your host family, I hear.
Yeah, so I grew up, my dad works in baseball, so he grew up coming up here scouting. So my family would always come for like a few weeks, and we'd rent a house from my host mom, Kim. And so, long story short, now I'm staying at her house. So they're hosting me. So it was cool to know them.
What's been your favorite part of the host family experience so far?
They gave me a car. Yeah, they can cook pretty good food, which is nice.
That's two big pluses right there.
2 for 2. Yeah.
All right. So the host family wins in Will's eyes. Here, baseball on the Cape, I'm sure you saw plenty of games when you came up here with your dad when he was a scout. What's it been like to actually put the jersey on and get to play on the Cape?
I think it's fun. Having an awesome coach like Coach Sheets it makes a huge difference because it's serious. It's a good amount of seriousness and having fun and getting better and developing. But yeah, being able to put the jersey on, it's a dream come true.
What's it like to play baseball in a family where your dad works in the game?
I think it's fun. I mean, at dinner we're eating food and we'd always talk about baseball and this and that and who he's going to draft and who the Dodgers are looking at and where he has to go. So I think it's kind of cool, like growing up around the game.
Did you have any big insights into draft picks growing up?
A little bit. I always kind of knew who his key guys were, but I have no clue this year. I haven't really talked to him.
All right, no spoilers from Will this summer. What's been one part that surprised you about baseball in Cape Cod?
I think I knew the competition was good, but just being that good, it's really humbled and made me realize how much better I need to get and how much better I can get against all these guys I've been playing with.
Would you say it's a step up from what you see day-to-day at Texas?
Yeah, I would say definitely from the Big 12. I think it's more what we'll see next year in the SEC.
What excites you most about moving to the SEC next year?
I think the atmospheres will be awesome to play in.
What's one place you want to go play most in the SEC next year?
I want to go play in Baton Rouge. I think that would be fun.
All right. A couple LSU guys on the team will be happy to hear that one. Well, thanks as always for the time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We'll send it back to Jack for the rest of the Anglers Extra pregame show.
Will Gasparino's a tall man, and he's got a tall task going to play in the SEC next year, but his program picked up a coup in Jim Schlossnagle, the former head coach at Texas A&M. That has been some crazy news going around the college baseball world this week. We've got college baseball here on the Cape coming up, and when we come back on the Anglers Extra pregame show, we'll give you the lineups, the pitching matchup, and get you ready for first pitch after the national anthem. It is Chatham versus Wareham here at Veterans Field. Coming up.
Anglers Extra. Chatham on TRC. Cape Cod.
Year after year, Cape Cod League Baseball and Chatham Bars Inn have been synonymous with summer on Cape Cod. The inn has offered clam bakes, beachside barbecues, and oceanfront dining since 1914. The new Beach House restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Visit Chatham Bars Inn at www.chathambarsin.com. Chatham Bars Inn and Cape Cod Baseball. Summer fun for the whole family.
Chatham A's Baseball is on the air right now.
Swings and hits one to left center field. Back goes McFadden. He will not get there. It's a home run. A grand slam for Todd Frazier.
Chugging into second base with an RBI double is Evan Longoria. He is 4 for 4.
Hit on the ground, left side. Will it get through? Off Crawford and into center field. Federovic scores and Chatham wins it in 11. The game-winning hit from Seager. It's a 5-4 Chatham winner.
And now, with your play-by-play, Andrew Selover and Jack Smith.
From high above Diamond Side at Veterans Field on a beautiful, sunny, and 75-degree day, we welcome you back to the Cape Cod Baseball Network for Game 11 and the second matchup of the season between the Chatham A's and the Wareham Gatemen. With Jack Smith, I'm Andrew Selover. The Gatemen come in winners of their last 5, and Chatham comes in off a win last night, shortened due to fog, and ready to try and win their first win streak of the summer. We'll get to the starting lineups in just a few minutes, and we'll also have the pitching matchup, the umpires, and first pitch coming up in just a few minutes. But first, we send it over to our public address announcer, John Trudeau, for tonight's national anthem. John, take it away.
Tonight's national anthem is sung by 19-year-old singer-songwriter Catherine Breck from Westfield, Massachusetts. She is currently a second-year student at Berklee College of Music in Boston. She has been singing the anthem for over 4 years, performing for many collegiate and professional teams, including the Hartford Yard Goats, the Connecticut Sun of the WNBA, for both the 2022 and 2023 NCAA Big East basketball tournaments, and many more. Take it away, Catherine.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and our ragged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
The national anthem at Veterans Field ahead of Game 11 of the Cape League season between Chatham and Wareham. Let's dive right in here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network to the starting lineups presented by the Chatham Clothing Bar. First for the visiting Gatemen under second-year manager Ryan Smythe, coming in at a league-best 8-2 record, winners of 5 straight. Leading off for the Gatemen out of Arizona, the center fielder Brendan Summerhill. Batting second from USF, South Florida, Bobby Bozer at second base. Fresno State's Murph Gray bats third and plays third base. In the cleanup spot from Miami, Antonio Jimenez, the shortstop. Batting fifth for Wareham, the West Virginia left fielder Sam White. From Clemson, Jacob Jarrell bats sixth and plays behind the dish, catching for Wareham tonight. Eli Putnam from Davidson is slotted into the 7-hole and plays first base. The designated hitter Nate Early bats 8th out of Florida Southwestern. And rounding out the starting 9 for the Wareham Gatemen, from San Diego State, the right fielder Colby Turner. Again, it's Summerhill, Bozer, Gray, Jimenez, White, Jarrell, Putnam, Early, and Turner.
For Chatham, the lineup starts with now the everyday leadoff hitter, Austin O'Verne, the left-handed hitting center fielder from USC. Behind him, it's Kyle Lodis, who moves back into the starting lineup. The right-handed shortstop from Georgia Tech bats second. The lefty Ike Irish is in the DH spot today from Auburn and hits third. Middle third of the order is John Bay and Iva Arquette, followed by Luke Cantwell. Bay and Arquette, both righties, both homered yesterday. Bottom third of the lineup is the lefty Ashton Larson, the right fielder from LSU, Jaden Davis, the second baseman from Vanderbilt, who bats right-handed, and the left-handed hitting catcher from Ole Miss, Campbell Smithwick. From 1 to 9, it's O'Verne, Lodis, Irish, Bay, Arquette, Cantwell, Larson, Davis, Smithwick for Chatham.
Let's get you the Red Nun Bar and Grill pitching matchup. On the mound for the Gatemen, making his first appearance this summer for Wareham. Out of Florida State, the sophomore righty, Yoel Tejeda Jr. More on Tejeda in the bottom of the first. But for Chatham, Liam Paddock, the only returner to the Anglers this summer from a year ago. The lefty out of Gonzaga, and the junior gets the ball for the A's, making his second appearance and his first one, Jack. He was fantastic.
He went 5 1/3 innings, gave up just 1 earned run. That was against Orleans at Eldridge Park. The key for Paddock is limiting the walks because we know he's going to strike a bunch of guys out. In that start against Orleans, he K'd 7 and walked just 2.
So we'll keep an early eye on the commands for the lefty, who only allowed 1 run on 1 hit 7 days ago against the Firebirds. As for the umpires tonight, presented by Chatham Paint and Hardware right on Main Street in Chatham, Massachusetts. Behind the plate, Jeff Merzell calls balls and strikes. Jacob Ashworth is at first, and Rick Force at third. Chatham wears its pinstripe uniforms. Tops and the pants, red A on the front, blue numbers on the back with the blue cap. For the Gatemen, the cranberry tops. Gatemen in navy and navy numbers, gray pants, and navy caps. For the road team, Wareham, who sends Brendan Summerhill, Bobby Bozer, and Murph Gray to lead off against Liam Paddock. Paddock toes the left side of the rubber, left-on-left matchup to start, and the first pitch is flicked back out of play for strike 1. First pitch comes in at 7:02. It is sunny and 73 degrees. Time and temperature presented by the Chatham Athletic Association. Long pause from Paddock. Now he winds and delivers. And it's lined into right field, and it drops in front of Larson for a leadoff single. Wareham comes in with the best batting average on the Cape. Gatemen hitting at .278. And the game starts with a leadoff single pull side for Brendan Summerhill. Brings up Bobby Bozer, the second baseman from South Florida. Defensive alignment for the A's, presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. Left to right in the outfield, John Bay, Austin Overn, and Ashton Larson. Paddock now out of the stretch. Left on right, first offering. It's a fastball outside, ball 1. Third to first on the infield, Iva Arquette at the hot corner. Kyle Lodis at short, Jaden Davis over at first, and Luke Cantwell holding on the base runner, Brendan Summerhill at first. The catcher, Campbell Smithwick, sets up for the 1-0. And that one's hit high in the air on the infield. Into shallow right field it goes. In comes Larson. He's called off by Overn, who makes the play. And pump fakes back to first, where Summerhill retreats with now 1 out. All of left field and center field completely covered by shade as the sun starts to drop back behind the trees down the left field line. Yesterday, we didn't even see the sun at all throughout the whole day because of the fog that shortened last night's game to just 4.5 innings. A's came away 5-2 winners over Hyannis. Murph Gray digs in from the right side. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses downstairs.
Happy to report there's no fog today.
Don't jinx us.
I will knock on wood as we speak.
Plenty of Chatham fans would tell you they've seen it turn around quickly. Pickoff throw to first in the dirt, dug up by Cantwell.
Fog in Chatham? Surely not.
You've been reading my Twitter, Jack.
Always, right before bed.
Yearly tradition. 5th inning fog, as they call it. And it got us in the 5th inning last night. 1-0. Runner goes outside, and Smithwick does not throw down, could not get a handle on it. Back behind the dish. An easy stolen base for a Gatemen team that ranks fewest in stolen bases in the Cape League coming into tonight. That's just the 9th in game 11. 2 balls, no strikes to Gray. Paddock looks back, now comes home. Slider on the inside corner, called a strike.
And off of first, Summerhill had a very small lead, but he was dancing around, keeping his feet active, and that allowed him to get a good jump.
Gray out of Fresno State. Bats it from the right side. And he taps the 2-1 foul at the plate. Runs the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. California native. Swinging at .333 through his first 10 games on Cape Cod. 1 out here into the top of the first. Scoreless between Chatham and Wareham. Leadoff runner at second base for the Gatemen. 1 out, and the 2-2 pitch coming from Paddock. Runner on the move. Swing and a miss. Throw down to third. Not in time. First strikeout for Liam Paddock, but the possible first run moves 90 feet away for the Gatemen.
Summerhill keeps picking good pitches to go on. Smithwick was waiting for the 2-strike pitch, ensuring that if there was no swing, he'd be there to frame it, and he just really never got any power behind his throw.
Stolen bases were a problem the last time that Liam Paddock was on the mound. Orleans swiped 2 bags against the starter 7 days ago. First pitch to Antonio Jimenez is in the dirt. Ball 1. Jimenez, the shortstop out of Miami, hitting at .261, although his OPS is up above 1,000 as he has 2 home runs this summer. 1-0. Bender misses high and away. 2 balls, no strikes. A lot of off speed early from Liam Paddock, the lefty. Runner at third here in the top of the first for Wareham. 2 outs and a 2-0 count. Paddock comes home. There's a fastball, but it misses outside. 3-0 count. For Paddock, it's a 4-pitch mix. Fastball, changeup, slider, curveball. We'll see what he goes to here on 3 balls, no strikes. The lefty delivers. It's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Just 74 miles per hour out of the hand.
There's no such thing as a 3-0 count anymore. You're not getting a fastball.
Now Paddock in the 3-1 count, delivers. There's a fastball, just missed the inside corner. So a 2-out walk puts runners at the corners. Jimenez to first, Summerhill still over at third. Brings up Sam White. One of just 3 lefties in the lineup for Ryan Smythe and the Gatemen. 6 righties, 3 lefties against the lefty Paddock.
For Paddock, he had a couple of bases to work with. When he fell behind 3-0, it maybe makes more sense to let Jimenez reach to face the lefty White.
White out of West Virginia digs in against the Gonzaga lefty. Paddock comes home. There's a curveball outside for ball 1. Just 7 ABs into the summer for White. He has 3 hits. He scored 3 runs for the Gatemen. Coming off a 7-3 win last night. 1-0. There's a heater. Hums the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. 5-game win streak. That's the second best right now on Cape Cod. Cotuit has a 6-game win streak going into tonight. Paddock looks over to first and comes home. Another fastball, and again it's in there on the outside corner to the lefty. Sam White's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Paddock trying to leave runners at the corners with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Keep it scoreless. And he picks to first, not in time. First step was to second for Jimenez, but the throw was low and there was no tag from Cantwell. Paddock nods at the first sign he sees, comes set at the chest, and he picks again to first. Again, no tag from Cantwell. Jimenez is 1 for 4 so far this summer in stolen bases. And again, Paddock throws to first. And again, it's not close. Paddock again set in a 1-2 count. He fires, and it's fouled off. Runner was on the move. Jimenez retreats back to first. Bat boy out to get it. He's matching the A's in his pinstripe jersey tonight. Chatham has the middle infield back. Second baseman Davis on the edge of the outfield grass in right center. Cantwell holds on the runner at first, and the pitch is outside. Delayed steal and no throw down as the pitch popped out of the mitt of Smithwick. Third stolen base already in the first inning. After Summerhill singled, he stole both second and third. And Jimenez walked, and now he's swiped second. So 2 in scoring position, 2 outs, no runs in the top of the first for Wareham. And a 2-2 count to Sam White. Here's the pitch. Check swing on a ball in the dirt. Appeal down. He did not go. The third base umpire, Rick Force, has moved over in front of second base. That's where the appeal went. Gave the safe sign to run the count to full. Paddock approaching 20 pitches here in the first inning. Trying to strand 2 runners in scoring position as the shadows creep closer to his mound from center field. The 3-2. Swing and a miss. Fooled him with a breaking ball on a full count offering in the dirt. Second strikeout of the inning, and Paddock leaves 2 on the path. For the Gatemen in the top of the first, no runs, 1 hit, no errors from the Anglers, 3 stolen bases for the Gatemen, and 2 left on base. Started with the single, then 2 outs, a walk, and then a strikeout of Sam White to end the frame. Wareham 0, Chatham coming up to the plate to face Yoel Tejeda. It's Austin Over, Kyle Lodis, and Ike Irish to start things for Chatham when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Starting up on the Cape Cod Baseball Network as Chatham and Wareham head to the bottom half of the first. Gatemen 0 and the Anglers coming to the plate. A reminder of the Chatham A's starting lineup. First-year manager Sheets sends these 9 to the plate tonight. Austin Overn, Kyle Lodis, Ike Irish to start in the first for the Anglers. John Bay, Iva Arquette, Luke Cantwell in the middle of the order. And the bottom 3, Ashton Larson, Jaden Davis, and Campbell Smithwick. A's facing off against Yoel Tejeda Jr., a lengthy righty, a sophomore out of Florida State at 6'8", 215 pounds. Tejeda makes his first appearance this summer on the Cape. The righty faces the lefty, Austin Overn, and his first offering is cut on and missed. Fastball down in the zone at 94. 5 lefties and 4 righties against the righty starter for the Gatemen. 0-1. Another fastball outside. Ball 1. Tejeda spent his first season at Florida. Then he transferred to Florida State. 1-1. Off speed outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Traded in the orange and blue for the garnet and gold. Has not pitched in 1 month exactly. 2-1. That's lined into left center field, and that ball touches down, a base hit. The left fielder Sam White gets to it quickly. Austin Overn leads things off with a single for Chatham in the bottom of the first.
And that extends his hitting streak to 5 games. Previously in the first 4 games, he was 7 for 17. He's really been seeing it well.
He and Ike Irish both coming into tonight, 4-game hit streaks. Brings up Kyle Lodis. Moves up to the 2-hole tonight. Lodis swings it from the right side. First offering. At the top of the zone, called strike.
Overn told me he's a little bit tired, but I said, can't have a day off in the middle of a hitting streak. And he agreed.
Kyle Lodis got his day off yesterday after going 0 for 4 at Harwich. Check on Overn at first. He's back in time head first. Lodis 222 in the average as the 0-1 is taken. Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sophomore out of Augusta, transferring to Georgia Tech in the fall. He'll face off against Yoel Tejeda in the ACC. 1-1. Swing and a miss. High heat at 94. Runs the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Florida State against future Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket here with 1 on and nobody out in the bottom of the first. 1-2. Line the other way, tailing foul. Just over the Wareham bullpen down the right field line. Another good crowd on a sunny night here at Veterans Field. Mid-70s throughout the day. Seats behind the plate, almost all taken. 1-2 again. Swing and a miss. Tejeda runs it up to 95 for his first strikeout of the night. Defensive alignment for the Gatemen, presented by Short and Sweet Ice Cream. Left to right in the outfield, Sam White, Brendan Summerhill, Colby Turner. Ike Irish digs in, another left-handed swinger against the righty starter Yoel Tejeda. Irish awaits and takes for a strike, but it skips off the mitt of Jacob Jarrell, and Overn takes second base on the pass ball. Third to first on the infield for the Gatemen, Murph Gray over at third, Antonio Jimenez at short, Bobby Bozer at second, and at first Eli Putnam. Jacob Jarrell again the battery mate for Yoel Tejeda Jr. A's all on the top step, pitcher still in the dugout in the first inning. As Tejeda comes home, Overn takes off, pitch in the dirt, double clutch, Jarrell throws it into left field. Overn takes off, Murph Gray gets to it, and his throw is way late, and Chatham takes the first lead. Again, Austin Overn's speed is causing defenses problems. He takes third and scores on an error from Jacob Jarrell. Chatham 1, Wareham nothing. Bottom of the first.
Oh, it's deja vu, Andrew. Same exact thing happened in the 3rd inning yesterday.
The pitch up and away for ball 2 to Ike Irish.
He causes so much panic in the head of pitchers and catchers.
2-1. Outside, 3-1.
Yesterday in the 3rd, he had an infield single on a ball hit to the first baseman. He stole 2nd and 3rd, and the throw from 3rd allowed him to score.
3-1 pitch, cranked out a play over our heads. Offset of third base side of home plate. 2 stories up above the diamond. Runs the count to full. Almost deja vu, except a couple innings earlier tonight for Austin Over. The pitch, just down. Ball 4. Close take on the full count pitch, and Ike Irish is aboard. Still just one out here in the bottom of the first. Chatham up on Wareham 1-0. A hit aside. An error costing the Gatemen so far. Officially an E2 on Jacob Jarrell back behind the plate. Brings up John Bay from the right side. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Out in front of a slider that slid into the left-hand batter's box. Bay comes in fresh off his 3rd home run of the summer yesterday. He was 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch and that solo blast. 0-1. He takes the same pitch for ball 1. Identical slider down and away to the righty. Bay also scored after he was plunked last night. Went the other way for his 3rd homer. 1-1. Again outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bay now tied for the Cape League lead with 3 home runs through 10 games. Righty out of Austin P. Hit upwards of 20 big ones in the school season. And he takes inside. No, a strike. Runner off. And Irish swipes second. And he takes off for 3rd. A pop-up slide as the ball skipped into center field. And Irish tips his cap to the Chatham dugout. 1st to 3rd on a stolen base and another error on Jarrell.
It's a track meet in the 1st inning.
3 stolen bases for the Gatemen in the top half. A's have stolen 2 bases and advanced twice on errors on throwdowns. 2-2 the count. The pitch to Bay. Swing and a miss. Ball pops out of the mitt. Jarrell applies the tag before Bay could take off. 2nd strikeout of the 1st for Yoel Tejeda. Brings up Iva Arquette, who also homered to left center field, a 3-run homer. That gave the Anglers a big lead last night. A's held on 5-2 winners through 4.5. First pitch, downstairs, ball 1. A fog-cut short game for the first time this summer. No fog, at least as of now, on a sunny night here at Veterans Field. Fans filing onto the center field hill. 1-0. On the outside corner to the righty. 1 ball, 1 strike. Iva Arquette leads the team in batting average after last night's performance. 1 for 1. Walk and a big one. 379. 1-1. He takes a strike. That's best for 5th in the Cape League so far. Arquette steps out, looks on to his barrel. Red handle, blue barrel. Swings it behind his head and awaits. And swings through a slider for strike 3. So Yoel Tejeda strikes out 3, and he strands Ike Irish over at 3rd. Not before Austin Overn causes mayhem on the base paths and gives Chatham a 1-run advantage through 1. As Chatham goes for 1 run on 1 hit. Couple stolen bases, 2 errors in the field from the Gatemen, and 1 man left on. Through 1 at Veterans Field. 1-0 Chatham on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod. What I want, you got, and it might be hard to handle. But like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Yeah, what I got, full stock of thoughts and dreams to scatter. When you pull them all together,
Hi, this is Liam Paddock from Gonzaga University. You're listening to the Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Liam Paddock is back on the mound for his second inning of work as we head to the top of the second here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Chatham in front of Wareham, 1-0 through 1 at Veterans Field. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Gatemen here in the second inning. Jacob Jarrell, Eli Putnam, Nate Yearley. Clemson catcher Jacob Jarrell digs in from the right side. We have a quick pause as the public address announcer is still going. And now we're good for the second inning. Jacob Jarrell digs back in. Liam Paddock a deep breath. And now he delivers. And he misses inside to the righty for ball one. Jarrell hitting .308 so far. And he takes up and in, ball two. Out of Wilmington, North Carolina. Went down to South Carolina to play for the Tigers. Advanced to the Super Regionals this year. 2-0 pitch. Taken in the dirt. Traces the chalk line of the right-hand batter's box. Quick 3-0 count to start the top of the second inning for Liam Paddock. Paddock works quickly. His pitch sails to the backstop. Tips off the mitt of Campbell Smithwick. Doesn't matter, it's ball four. Jacob Jarrell reaches on a 4-pitch walk to start the second inning. So far, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts for Liam Paddock. Brings up Eli Putnam. You can hear the radio turn on in the Chatham dugout. Connecting the dugout down to the bullpen. First pitch. Airmails all the way to the backstop again. Smithwick back to gather. Jarrell down to second base on a wild pitch from Paddock. That brings Campbell Smithwick out to the mound, along with Luke Cantwell, the first baseman. They'll talk things over.
We didn't see Liam Paddock look like this at any point, really, in his season debut at Orleans.
And now the pitching coach, Eric Beatty, off the walkie-talkie, and he's striding out to the mound, trying to calm down his starting pitcher. As there's a right-handed reliever warming up in the bullpen already for the Anglers. Paddock walked 2 through 5 1/3 at Orleans. Gave up 1 run. Got a no decision in that ball game that finished 2-1 in favor of the A's. Already walked 2 and we're no outs into the top of the second. Home plate umpire Jeff Merzel out to the mound to break things up. He walks Eric Beatty back toward the third base dugout. Couple words and a smile for him. Those two have a quick chat, quick joke. Now we're back to the top of the second inning and baseball action. Want to know the count with a runner on second base. No outs here in the top of 2. Eli Putnam stares out to Paddock. His pitch. Rides outside, another fastball for ball 2.
It's Pierce George who's getting loose for Chatham. He's a righty from Alabama. I'm sure he's getting ready in a hurry after 6 straight out of the zone to start the second for Paddock.
Only 1 hit so far off of Paddock. A's up 1-0 in the second inning. But Liam seems to have lost the zone. His 2-0 finds the zone. He grooves it right down the middle at 90 with the heater. 2 balls, 1 strike. Putnam also off to a scorching hot start here on Cape Cod as he awaits the 2-1 pitch from Paddock and swings through a changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hitting at .345. Also has a pair of home runs. OPS up above 1,000. Davidson product showing off in front of the scouts and against some Power 5 players. 2-2. He takes low and away. Putnam even in the count against Paddock. Rather now the count runs to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff walk and a wild pitch has Jacob Jarrell standing at second base, a 4-stride lead. Watching on as Paddock comes set. Full count offering. Breaking ball. At the top of the zone. Ring him up. Strike 3 looking. A deliberate strike 3 call from Jeff Merzel and a big punch out that sends Eli Putnam down. 3rd strikeout for Paddock. 4 outs into the game for the lefty starter. That's the first one looking. Brings up another lefty hitter, Nate Early. Left on left, Paddock a deep breath. He comes home. Curveball in the dirt, check swing. No appeal from the A's, ball 1. Early out of Florida Southwestern College. Down in the Fort Myers area. He awaits the 1-0. And it came in and caught a piece of him on the inside forearm of his left hand. And he crouches down halfway up the first base line in some pain. The trainer, the manager Ryan Smythe, both out to check on Early as he slowly walks down toward first base.
The right fielder, number 12, Colby Turner.
They'll have a quick check on Early before Colby Turner can step into the right-hand batter's box. Field fully covered in shadows for the most part. A brief glimpse of sun streaking down the right field line. But that's all as it dips below the left field trees. Early is good to go. He takes off the protection over at first. And now a quick conversation between the Wareham third base coach and Colby Turner. With 1 out and runners at first and second here in the top of the 2nd inning. Perhaps, Jack, talking about a hit and run or a bunt possibility.
I'd imagine it could be that, or also just to remind him, hey, this guy's been out of the zone so far this inning. Don't give him something outside of the pitch that you're looking for.
A walk, a strikeout, and a hit batter. That's how the 2nd inning is started for Liam Paddock. It has Jacob Jarrell at second, Nate Early at first, and the 9-hole hitter from San Diego State, Colby Turner, batting from the right side. Paddock from the stretch, looks back to second. And again, and now comes home. Fastball, cut and a miss. Strike 1. Last night, Chatham saw Griffin Herring erratic, but not terrible, work through 2 innings of 1-run baseball. 0-1. Bounces in. Good stop from Smithwick, and the runner from second takes off. Gerald takes third easily, as Smithwick's instinct was to gun down the second runner, but Nate Early wisely stayed put at first. If he looks to third first, he probably has a good chance at getting Gerald.
I thought he did look. I think the problem was Iva Arquette was off of the base, and Smithwick realized that he had no play there, and then quickly shifted his head around. He looked as he was picking the ball up and just, I think, saw that Arquette was too far off the base.
It puts runners at the corners and a 1-1 count. 1 out here in the 2nd inning. The pitch. Curveball lands for a strike. Liam Paddock digs back into the left side of the rubber. Glove at his right hip. Stares into Smithwick. Now he comes set. And the pitch bounces in, and it caught a piece of Turner. So a second hit batter here in the inning. Colby Turner moves to first. Nate Early moves over to second base, and they're loaded with one out for the top of the lineup. Back-to-back hit batters, and that draws Eric Beatty again out of the dugout. No signal yet to the left field bullpen yet, and now he does. So Liam Paddock's night is cut short here in the top of the second inning. He gives fist pumps to all of his infield and hands the ball over to Eric Beatty as he exits the mound. He exits with no runs on the scoreboard yet for Wareham, but the Gatemen have all bases full with just one out here into the second inning. We'll get to the Chatham reliever when we return with one out here in the top of the second on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Nobody on the road, nobody on the beach. I feel it in the air, the summer's out of reach. Empty lake, empty streets, the sun goes down alone. I'm driving by your house, though I know you're not home. But I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. You got your hair combed back. Sunglasses on, baby. I can tell you my love for you will still be strong after the boys of summer have gone. I never will forget those nights. I wonder if it was a dream. Remember how you made me crazy? Remember how I made you scream? Now I don't understand what happened to our love. But babe, I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna show you what I'm made of. I can see you, your brown skin shining in the sun. I see you walking real slow.
Chatham bars in, call to the bullpen comes a little early tonight for the Anglers. Just one out here into the top of the second inning, and Pierce George enters out of the pen for the A's. Righty reliever out of Alabama takes over for Liam Paddock. Not so final line for Paddock. 1 1/3 inning. 1 hit, 2 walks, 2 hit batters, 3 strikeouts. And he leaves with no runs on his tally for now. But the bases are loaded. Jacob Jarrell at third, Nate Early at second, Colby Turner at first, all the responsibility of Liam Paddock. Top of the lineup with one out against Pierce George. Brendan Summerhill, the lefty, digs in out of Arizona. First offering, fastball that's hit high in the air, deep toward right field. Back goes Larson. He looks up, and it's gone! A grand slam for Brendan Summerhill that catapults the Gatemen to a 4-1 lead in the top of the second inning. First pitch out of the bullpen from Pierce George, planted on the right center field hill. Summerhill taps on home plate, high-fives his teammates on the way back to the first base dugout, A rude greeting of Pierce George that puts Wareham up 4-1. Still just one out here into the top of the second inning, and that quickly finalizes the line on Liam Paddock. First pitch to Bobby Bozer. That's fisted the other way, deep to right. Larson drifting back. He's shy of the track to make the catch. Head high for out number 2.
George came in and he's got a high-octane fastball, but his first pitch to Summerhill was 98 right over the heart of the plate, which good hitters in this league can catch up to.
Summerhill hit it 100 back the other way. 392, no doubter. First home run of the summer for the outfielder out of Arizona. 2 outs for Murph Gray, first offering. Heater that hums in at 90 and it dots the bottom of the zone. Gatemen dugout not happy with that one. Strike 1. 0-1. Fastball lined into center field, a base hit. Drops down and rolls out to Austin Over. Just the second hit of the inning for the Gatemen. First 3 reached on a walk and 2 hit batters. So Liam Paddock charged for 3 runs, all earned. He is now in line for the loss, should this scoreboard hold for the remainder of the game. One on, 2 out. Antonio Jimenez in from the right side. First pitch from George is a slider outside for ball 1.
Starting to understand how this Gatemen team has gone on such a run. They take such selfless at-bats and really just seem excited to bring the next guy to the plate.
It's definitely the hitting, less so the pitching, that's gotten Wareham to this 8-2 record. 1-0. Again the slider, again outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Wareham hitting it a league best 278 at the plate. Grand slam from Brendan Summerhill, the 9th home run for the Gatemen this summer. Pitching staff a 4.83 ERA so far. 2-0. Fastball low and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Gatemen pitchers have walked 53. That's the most on the Cape League. So the pitching slotting in 8th worst in the Cape League. Rather 8th. That's 3rd worst in the Cape League as the 3-0 is in there for a strike. Batting, though, has been top of the league through 10 games, a quarter of the way through the season. And already 4 runs here in the second inning to put Wareham up 4-1. Runner at first, 2 outs. 3-1 from George. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Smithwick throws from his knees. One hops in there, and it's a tad late. Did not stand up, just threw from his crouched position and could not quite get enough mustard on that one. So a stolen bag for Gray. 4th stolen base in 2 innings for the Gatemen. Out hitting Chatham 3-1. Outscoring him 4-1. George from the stretch. Looks back to second. Now the full count pitch. Swing and a miss. Went downstairs and off speed, and Jimenez swings through it. But not before the Gatemen send 8 to the plate. Here in the second inning, they chase Liam Paddock out of the game after just 1 out in the frame. And Wareham puts up 4 runs on 2 hits. No errors from Chatham, and 1 man left on for the Gatemen. A grand slam from Brendan Summerhill puts Wareham up 4-1. Halfway through 2. Stick with us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Six, 7, and 8 for the Anglers to the plate in the bottom of the second inning. Chatham trying to respond to a 4-run top half of the frame. All on one swing, a grand slam from Brendan Summerhill. Luke Cantwell leads things off. First pitch. It's a fastball up and away for ball one. Yoel Tejeda now pitching for the first time with a lead, after he gave up one in the first, and he misses outside for ball two. It was an unearned run when Austin Overn came home to score on a throwing error from the catcher. Two-0. Swing and a miss. Healthy cut at 93. Cantwell looks back to Jeff Merzell, the home plate umpire, asking if that one was a strike. 2-1 offering. Swing and a miss, strike two. Luke Cantwell out of Pittsburgh, Fairleigh Dickinson transfer. He's been hanging out with his family, who came up to visit for the last couple days on Cape Cod. 2-2. That one's hit high in the air towards deep center field, sending back Summerhill. He's at the track, and he makes a running catch. About 5 feet shy of dead center field. Cantwell gave it a ride, but just came up short.
Simply a matter of where he put it in the ballpark. Similar profile to the ball off Summerhill's bat. Both came off the wooden bat at 100 miles an hour, but Cantwell hit it to the deepest part of the yard.
Nobody on, one out. First pitch to Ashton Larson is in there, a called strike.
We've talked about how this park is designed for lefties. Really easy to pull home runs if you're a left-handed hitter.
0-1 from Tejeda. The lefty Larson grounds it off the glove of Tejeda. Barehand try, no throw from Jimenez, the shortstop. An infield single for Ashton Larson as he chopped it back to the arm side of the pitcher Tejeda, who reached across his body, got some of the outside of his glove on it, and that slowed it down to where Jimenez up the middle had no play. 1 on, 1 out. Brings up Jaden Davis. First offering. That one's dribbled up the middle. Third baseman Gray fields it, throws it, and that's in time to first. A bang-bang play. Nearly a second straight infield single, but Jaden Davis is gunned out on a running play from Murph Gray, the third baseman. Moves Larson into scoring position with 2 outs for the 9-hole hitter Campbell Smithwick. Another left-handed hitter, Smithwick, facing the righty Tejeda. First time tonight, first pitch. Pounds the mitt for a strike, a fastball on the outer half. Smithwick was 0 for 2 last night in the fog-shortened game. A strikeout. Still hitting above 300. 0-1. Outside for ball one. He's actually sitting right at 400. 6 for his first 15 here in Chatham. 1-1 pitch. That one's lined out towards deep center field. Again, Summerhill races back, and he makes another gliding catch. Almost identical spot to where he put away Luke Cantwell to start the inning, as Chatham sends 2 fly balls to the warning track in dead center field. But the Anglers in the bottom of the second cannot respond to a Wareham grand slam in the top half. Chatham goes for no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left on. 4-1 Gatemen through 2 at Veterans Field.
Chatham A's on the air.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery,
You get a shiver in the dark. It's coming in out of the rain to hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places. But the horns, they blowing in.
Top of the third inning here at Veterans Field. Gatemen send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate. Sam White leads things off, swinging it from the left side. Righty George back on for Chatham. First pitch, line foul the other way. 4-1 Gatemen in front of the Anglers here in Game 11 of the Cape League season. Wareham trying to get back at Chatham after the Anglers opened the summer with a run rule over the Gatemen on the road. Oh, 1. Fastball, again, flicked foul the other way. That one hit off the screen above the Chatham dugout, third base side. And here comes the roll call from the Anglers bullpen. Become a tradition here to start the top of the third inning. Trying to get John Bay's attention in left field. He's the closest one to him. He gives a finger point before the 0-2 home. Upstairs with a fastball. Now it's Iva chance. Cheering for Iva Arquette, who turns around and signals down to the bullpen at third base. Kyle Lodise now responds at short. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Pierce George. He sends Sam White down on strikes to start the third inning.
Now batting the catcher, number 3, Jacob Jarrell.
Brings up Jacob Jarrell, nobody on, 1 out. First pitch, fastball hit on the ground, deep in the hole, it's short. Backhand stop Lodise, throws to first, in time. Dug up by Cantwell. Lodise ranging to his right 2 steps, got the backhand to it, sprung to his feet. Throw had plenty of juice in plenty of time, and Cantwell held on to it. Roll call is complete here in the top of the third for the bullpen for Chatham. The 2 men that don't get shout-outs, the pitcher Pierce George and the catcher Campbell Smithwick. Some guys embracing it in the field a little more than others. First pitch to Eli Putnam. Swing and a miss.
Bullpen's got to stay entertained out there, especially since some of them throw once every 5 or 6 days.
Pierce George pitching for the first time in 11 days for Chatham. Righty's 0-1. Swing and a miss. Just caught a piece of it into the mitt of Smithwick. Quickly 0-2. George trying to respond for a 1-2-3 top of the third inning. Shakes off the first two signs he sees. His 0-2. Flied out of play, back behind the plate. Inning started with a strikeout swinging of Sam White. Then a ground out into the hole at short from Jacob Jarrell. Now another 0-2 to Eli Putnam. Dribbled down the third base line. Arquette charges, gloves, throws, in time. 1, 2, 3 for Pierce George and the Anglers defense. Setting down 5, 6, and 7 in the Gatemen lineup. The Anglers send the top of the order to the plate when we return in the bottom of the third. Chatham trying to get back in what is a 4-1 Gatemen lead halfway through 3 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
To be seen for a minor illness or injury, Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is here for you with high-quality, full-service walk-in care. ER expertise meets urgent care convenience at our 6 urgent care centers, which are staffed by board-certified ER providers and located Cape-wide from Falmouth to Orleans. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care is open daily and offers a cost-saving option for everything from sprains to stitches, with timely treatment in under an hour for most patients. View online wait times at capecodhealth.org/urgent care. Cape Cod Healthcare Urgent Care. Minor emergencies, major attention.
Well, I was born in a small town, and I live in a small town. Every day in a small town, oh, small communities. All my friends are from small town. My parents live in the same small town. My job is a small town, provides little opportunity. Educated in a small town, taught to fear Jesus in a small town. Used to daydream in that small town.
Bottom of the third, still a 4-1 lead for Wareham over Chatham at Veterans Field. Sun starting to set down the left field line in Chatham, Massachusetts. Some orange rays starting to appear against a light blue sky. Carolina blue, if you will. Top of the lineup for the Anglers. And the USC Trojan Austin Overn to lead things off. Third inning of work for Yoel Tejeda out of Florida State. Pitching with a 3-run advantage. First pitch of the inning. Breaking ball and a slider curves into the outside corner against the lefty Overn. Strike 1. Tejeda just finished up his second season of college baseball as his 0-1 skips in the dirt. Ball 1. First year, just above a 5 ERA, 20 innings pitched at Florida. Almost identical numbers this year after he transferred to Florida State. His 1-1 just misses the outside corner for ball 2. 19 2/3 inning, a 5.95 ERA with the Seminoles this summer. 2-1, chop foul. Last summer on the Cape, Tejeda's numbers were drastically improved, of course pitching against the Wood Bats in the Cape League compared to the Meadow Bats at the collegiate level. 19 innings, 7 appearances, 3 of them starts, and a 2.79 earned run average. Tejeda's 2-2. That's hit high in the air, shallow right field, drifting over Turner, shy of the track. He grabs it for the first out of the bottom of the third. Brings up Kyle Lodis with 1 out, nobody on. Tejeda had draft interest out of high school. Picked in the 2022 draft in the 19th round. His first pitch to Lodis misses way inside. Lodis jumps out of the way of it. Ball 1. Pittsburgh Pirates drafted Tejeda in the 19th round. He turned them down. 1-0. That's hit high in the air towards shallow right field. To his right a couple steps, Turner. And he has it for the second down. Quickly 2 down, nobody on here in the bottom of the third. Chatham trailing Wareham 4-1. Ike Irish to the dish. First pitch from Tejeda. That's in there for a strike. After a bit of a choppy first inning of work for Tejeda, he has settled in nicely. His 0-1. That's in there for a called strike. Quickly, 2 strikes to Ike Irish with 2 outs and nobody on. Bottom of the third at Veterans Field. Tejeda's 0-2. Taken outside. So the last time in real live action for Yoel Tejeda was on May 26th. He pitched an inning in the ACC Championship against Duke. Has not faced live action since then. His 1-2. Low and inside. 2-2. Did not pitch at all in FSU's College World Series run. The 6'8 righty out of the windup. He pitches, and Irish spoils it foul down the third base line. Tejeda out of Miami, Florida. That's about the one Florida school he hasn't played for, as his 2-2 is chopped weakly down the first base line. Will it stay fair? It does. Irish and infield single, as that one just rolled slowly down the chalk line and stayed fair with both Eli Putnam, the first baseman, and Yoel Tejeda choosing to just let it roll and hope it would wander to the right of the chalk, because neither had a play. 5-game hit streak now for Ike Irish. It's extended in about the weakest of fashions, but he'll take it. First pitch to John Bay. That finds the zone at the knees. Breaking ball at 81 for strike 1. Bay struck out swinging. One of 3 strikeout victims in the first inning. He awaits the 0-1, and he's fooled. He checks his swing and takes for strike 2. Might have gone around anyway on a saw-off attempt. Tejeda struck out 3 in the first, has not struck out anyone since then. Searching for an end to the third. His 0-2. In the dirt. Bay lays off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wareham 4, Chatham 1. 2 outs, runner at first. Bottom 3, runner off, 1-2. That one's bounced down the third base line. A foul ball. Just to the left of the third base bag. That would have been trouble for the Gatemen. Murph Gray did not get to it. It was rolling down to the Chatham bullpen. Instead, Irish retreats to first. John Bay back into the right-hand batter's box as he digs up the back chalk line. A shallow stance. Bay stares out. Another 1-2. And that's hit high in the air, but turning foul down the left field line. Bay out in front of 84. Trackman has that at 108 off the bat. That's major league stuff if true. Big if true. Another 1-2. Now a slow roller to the left of the mound. Tejeda to it quickly. He throws to first. It's a strike. And Bay is set down on a 1-3 putout that ends the bottom of the third inning. Chatham goes for no runs on a hit and infield single from Ike Irish. The Anglers leave Irish stranded over at first base. And Chatham still trails it 4-1 as we are through 3 here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Jack Smith takes over when we return As we head to the top of the fourth, Pierce George returns to the mound for the Anglers, trying to keep it right where it is at a 4-1 Wareham advantage. Through 3, stay with us here at Veterans Field.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
We're back for the top of the fourth inning at Veterans Field as Pierce George stays out on the hill for Chatham and faces Nate Early. A right-on-left matchup. Here's the pitch. Early takes a ball outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 4-1 Wareham on top as we enter the fourth inning. Alongside Andrew Selover, I'm Jack Smith, taking you through the middle 4 innings here at Veterans Field, where the sun has set and the lights have come on. 1-0 delivery. Early leaves it high, 2 balls and no strikes. Early, the DH from Florida Southwestern College, was hit by a pitch and stranded at second in the second inning. This is his first time facing the righty reliever George. 2-0. Swing and a bouncer foul off the foot of Early. 2 balls and 1 strike. George entered in relief of Liam Paddock, the starter for Chatham, who lasted just 1 1/3. Gave up a hit and 3 earned runs. Those 3 runs all came in after his day was done, as Pierce George came in and gave up a grand slam on the first pitch he threw. George in his second full inning of work nods, deals 2-1, and Early takes well outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. It's Early, then Colby Turner and Brendan Summerhill, the man who did all the damage, due up in this inning. 3-1 pitch. Early ropes it down the right field line. It's falling for a base hit. Down the line, it kicks up in the corner as Early touches the top of the first base bag. He chugs his way to second with a leadoff double to start the fourth.
Now batting, the right fielder, number 12, Colby Turner.
Really, for the first time since he gave up the grand slam to Brendan Summerhill, Pierce George gives up a bit of hard contact.
Couldn't put it any better. Early turned it just around the corner down the right field line. Rolled all the way into foul territory once it touched down fair. Stand-up double, and that's what the Gatemen do. 6 more doubles than any other team on the Cape.
It's their 4th hit tonight. Here's Colby Turner. Right-on-right matchup with a runner at second, nobody out. First pitch. Turner takes to the backstop. It's off the catcher Smithwick, and that allows Early to take the turn and go to third. 4 stolen bases for Wareham. A couple of hit by pitches and walks, and that's the second wild pitch to go along with a pass ball for Chatham. So runner at third now with nobody out. The infield will come in for Chatham as the A's already trail it by 3. 1-0 to Turner. He swings and bounces it foul towards the Chatham dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Turner, the right fielder from San Diego State, swings it from the right side. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning when Liam Paddock hit the last 2 batters he faced. George comes set, 1-1. Turner cracks it foul over the head of his first base coach and down the right field line. Still a ball and 2 strikes. The closest defender to home plate for Chatham is the first baseman Luke Cantwell, who's half a foot off the infield grass. Everyone else in with him. 1-2. Turner bounces it on the ground. Hopping at third, Arquette has it. He pump fakes to third and throws to first in time for the out. With the look back, Early stays at third. It's a non-productive out for Colby Turner. Arquette had to go into a little bunny hop to keep the ball in his glove. He's laughing with the shortstop Kyle Lodis. So I'm not sure he had to jump, but it sure looked cool.
It's where the height helps you out, Jack. 6'6" over there.
The batter now is Brendan Summerhill, who's 2 for 2 with all 4 runs batted in today for Wareham. Runner at third, 1 out. And Summerhill bounces this one to second. Davis gives ground. He looks Early back to third and throws a lob to first in time to get Summerhill. Early was 45 of the 90 feet down the third base line before Davis looked him all the way back to the bag. He was in no man's land and decided not to go home, as Davis would have thrown it to the catcher Campbell Smithwick, likely for an out. It means that Pierce George has gotten 2 straight ground outs, and with the infield back, he has a chance to strand the runner at third. First pitch to Bobby Bozer. Bozer takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes.
Can't dream it up any better when you bring the infield in for how the next 2 ABs could play out if you're Sheets and the A's.
Ground out to third, ground out to second. Bozer has flown out twice. 1-0. He takes a strike on the outside corner. 89 miles an hour on the breaking ball from George, 1-1. 4-1 Wareham in the top of the 4th inning here at Veterans Field. A's trail it by 3 to one of the hottest teams in the Cape League. 1-1. Bozer takes low, 2 balls and 1 strike. The Gatemen have the league's 2nd longest winning streak, 5 games in a row. Wareham has gone 8-1 since being run-ruled 11-1 by Chatham on opening day. 2-1 pitch. Bozer flies it foul. Back behind home plate and well out of Veterans Field. 2 balls and 2 strikes. With Brewster up on Katuitt, or rather with that game going final, the Kettleers had the longest winning streak in the Cape League. And that record now sticks with the Wareham Gatemen, who are trying to win their 6th straight game. 2-2, 2 outs, runner at third. Here's the pitch. Check swing, and he went around. Bozer could not hold up on the breaking ball off the outside corner, and George, after allowing a runner to reach third with nobody out, gets 2 ground balls and a strikeout. That means it's no run on 1 hit. 1 runner left on base, no errors in the field for Chatham. Middle third of the order comes up next for the Anglers. It's 4-1 Wareham here at Veterans Field as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Stick with us. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
It's the bottom of the 4th from Veterans Field here in Chatham, Massachusetts, as the A's trail the Wareham Gatemen a score of 4-1 here at home. Iva Arquette, Luke Cantwell, Ashton Larson come to the plate as the right-hander Yo Tejada fires. And it's in there for a strike at the top of the zone, 0-1. Yoel Tejada Jr. has had smooth sailing so far in his first Cape League start of 2024. He's from the windup, and he deals 0-1. He misses in the dirt with a breaking ball. It's a ball and a strike. Through the first 3 innings, Tejeda has given up 3 hits, 1 run unearned, and he's picked up 3 strikeouts. 1-1 pitch. Arquette takes another strike. A fastball at 92 at the ceiling of the strike zone to move the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Arquette is a righty, and then 2 lefties due up next for Chatham. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Arquette went after the breaking ball on the inside corner, comes up empty, and there is 1 away. 4th strikeout of the day for Tejeda, 2nd time that Arquette has gone down on strikes. That brings to the plate Luke Cantwell, the jitterbug first baseman who strides into the box, flicks the bat out at Tejeda, and awaits the first pitch. He takes a changeup low as he shuffles through the box. 1 ball and no strikes. Cantwell is deep into his crouch. Now he leans back ready. 1-0. He takes a strike. Dart fastball on the outside corner to move the count to 1-1. The always eccentric Luke Cantwell dances around in the box. Tejeda quickly deals, and Cantwell dribbles it foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Luke hit a deep fly ball in his first at-bat to center field. Hit it 100 miles an hour off the bat, but it was caught at the wall by Brendan Summerhill. Tejeda nods. He's got his sign from the windup. Glove held at the belt. He pauses to freeze Cantwell. Now he kicks and fires. A check swing on a pitch in the dirt. No swing, says the third base umpire Rick Force. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2. On the inside corner, strike 3 call. Back-to-back strikeouts start the 4th inning for Yoel Tejeda Jr.
First 2 strikeouts for Tejeda since way back in the 1st inning. Stuff has been impressive. Fastball's electric. Off-speed has been used for both a strike and a strikeout pitch outside of the zone.
First pitch to Ashton Larson is off the plate outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Tejeda had a 2.79 ERA in the Cape League last year, and after a long wait after his Florida State season, he's back. This one's fisted into left field, a base hit. Over the glove of the third baseman Murph Gray, it rolls into left, and Ashton Larson is 2 for 2 with his 2nd single. 2nd straight day we've seen the lefty Larson utilize the flip job over the head of the third baseman. He waited back on a breaking ball and tossed it out there at 60 miles an hour. So Larson leads off first, a 4-1 lead for Wareham in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now a right-on-right matchup with Jaden Davis, who takes a strike on the outside corner, a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. No balls and 1 strike. Larson's single is the 4th hit for Chatham. Gatemen also 4 hits, but one of them a Brendan Summerhill grand slam. 0-1 on the way. And Davis chops it on the ground in the hole at second, past the glove of the second baseman Bozer into right. Larson heads for third. Here's Turner's throw. It's off Larson, and it kicks off the third baseman Gray. A good throw gets Ashton Larson, but his body was in the way, which means he gets to third as Davis takes second base. Larson sacrificed his torso to ensure that he was safe at third. As he was diving in, the ball collided with him and Gray couldn't pick it up.
Not conventional wisdom to go there. Works out anyways. Hayes might have caught a break because that baseball was there in time.
That prompts a visit to the mound for Yoel Tejeda. Catcher Gerald joins the coach out of the Wareham dugout to talk with the Florida State righty, with the right-hander getting loose in the Wareham bullpen. If Tejeda stays in, he will face Campbell Smithwick, who at the moment is the tying run. 4-1 Wareham in the bottom of the 4th inning. The single from Davis has now put Chatham in front in the hit column. He gets credit for a single, and he advanced to second base on the throw. Jeff Merzell, the home plate umpire, goes out. He wants to break up this mound meeting. He does so successfully, and Yoel Tejeda Jr. is staying in.
Sidewinder righty Lucas Malstedt is the warming up pitcher down the line for Wareham out of Clemson. He's pitched once, given up 1 run in 2 innings so far this summer.
Second and third, 2 outs. A right-on-left matchup between Tejeda and Smithwick, ready to get underway. Here's the first pitch. Smithwick takes a strike. A changeup at the bottom of the zone. No balls and 1 strike. Smithwick, like Cantwell, lined out to the track his first time up on a ball hit 100 miles an hour off his wooden bat. He's got an RBI chance here with Chatham down 4-1. 0-1 delivery. In the dirt, ball 1. A backhanded one-hop pick from Jacob Jarrell. The catcher keeps the ball around home plate. Smithwick has knocked in 2 so far this season. His average coming into today was 400 to lead the A's. Tejeda kicks and deals. And Smithwick rolls it towards second on 1 knee. Bozer's got it. Sidearm sling to first is in time to get Smithwick for the final out of the inning. The A's go for no runs on 2 hits, no Gatemen errors, 2 runners left on base. We head to the top of the 5th inning. It's a 4-1 Wareham lead as Pierce George heads back onto the mound trying to keep it just a 3-run deficit for Chatham. More Chatham A's baseball coming up. Stick with us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
Like tell you about now, baby. You know she comes around. Just about 5 feet 4. From her head to the ground. You know she comes around here. Just about midnight. She make her feel so good, love. She make her feel alright. And her name is G. L. Whoa. R. I. G. L. Y. Gloria. G. L. Y. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it all night. Gloria. I'm gonna shout it every day. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And we welcome you back for the top of the 5th inning here at Veterans Field. The Wareham Gatemen on top of the Chatham Anglers 4-1 as Pierce George, the reliever, heads back out onto the hill for Chatham to face Murph Gray, Antonio Jimenez, and Sam White. Bulk part of the order here for Wareham. 2 righties and then a lefty. The right-hander George peers over his glove, kicks and deals. And Murph Gray takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Gray, the third baseman from Fresno State, struck out swinging in the first and then singled off of Pierce George his second time up. 1-0 is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Gatemen have 4 runs on 4 hits. A's have scored just 1 time despite 5 hits and 2 Gatemen errors. George is ready. Here's his 2-0. Way high and tight. 3 balls and no strikes on 96-mile-an-hour chin music past Murph Gray. George looking to avoid the leadoff walk in the 5th. He kicks and deals 3-0 and misses well outside. It's an easy 4-pitch walk for Murph Gray, who's aboard to start the 5th. That's the 3rd walk today for Chatham pitching and the first from Pierce George. And it gives us a chance to check on the MLB scoreboard, presented as always by Mahi Gold Outfitters.
Let's do that, Jack. Not the busiest day for baseball on a Thursday, but still a couple of games, a couple final scores.
First, Antonio Jimenez steps up to the plate. The right-hander in the back of the box against George with Gray off of first. George from the stretch deals. And it's chopped on the ground towards second. Lodis over, he grabs it, steps on the bag, throws to first, in time. Oh, what an athletic play from Kyle Lodis, who went onto the second base side of the second base bag, grabbed the ball, retreated to touch the base, and then threw to first in time for the out. Just like that on one pitch, Pierce George rolls two.
Not the first time we've seen the athleticism on display either from Lodis tonight.
He previously had a sliding stop to his right to make a 6-3 putout. And that brings up Sam White, the lefty. He shows bunt, and he takes a fastball off the plate outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
All right, these MLB scores before I run out of time. The
Gotta
finals today, White Sox beat the Braves 1-0 in a makeup. Cubs 5-3 over the Giants.
Swinging a fly ball down the left field line. John Bay chases it over. He enters foul territory, and it touches down for strike one.
That game went extras before the Cubs won. Twins 13, D-backs 6. Those are the finals. Couple games in the 7th. Orioles up 8-1 on the Rangers. Marlins 4-3 over the Phillies.
4-1 here at Veterans Field. Wareham on top in the top of the 5th inning. Here's the 1-1 to White, who takes well high with a fastball at 96, 2-1.
And one other score of note, the Blue Jays up 8-0 on the Yankees in the 5th. So should the Jays and the Orioles win, there will be a tie atop the AL East. Orioles and the Yankees.
2-1 offering, and White dribbles it foul back towards his own dugout. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our producer, Giovanni Collada, who does a great job for us here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network, will not be pleased.
Tough week for the Yanks.
2-game sweep for the Mets over the boys from the Bronx.
Yeah, Yankees fans won't be a fan of that.
2-2. Upstairs for ball 3. So the count moves full on Sam White with the bases empty and 2 outs. A walk started the frame to Murph Gray before Antonio Jimenez bounced into a 6-3 double play. 3-2 pitch. White takes to the backstop. It skips off of Smithwick, ball 4. White ditches the gear. He tosses the bat towards the first base dugout. It's the second walk of the inning, and it puts a runner at first with 2 outs. So that does it for our MLB scoreboard, presented as always, as we mentioned, by Mahi Gold Outfitters. And it brings to the plate Jacob Jarrell, the catcher from Clemson. He has drawn a walk today, and he's also bounced out to short. He was the one that hit into that athletic sliding play from Kyle Lodis a few innings ago. Right on right. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss from Jarrell. No balls and 1 strike. Walks have long been the story for Pierce George. He walked 2 in just 2/3 of an inning in his A's debut 11 days ago. This season at Alabama, he walked more than he gave up hits. 1. Swing and a miss again from Jarrell, who was out ahead of the breaking ball. No balls and 2 strikes.
Tyler Kozera up in the bullpen for Chatham, so that means the outing likely coming to a close here for George. He's hoping he can finish the 5th for the Anglers.
Needs just 1 more strike to throw up a 3rd consecutive 0. From the stretch, he delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 3 breaking balls, 3 swings and misses, and an absolute dismantling of Jacob Jarrell. That means we're halfway home here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. It's 4-1 the score here from Veterans Field. The Wareham Gatemen on top of the Chatham Anglers. Wareham looking to get revenge for the opening day win for Chatham. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the top of the order coming up for Chatham. Over Lodis and Irish coming up when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Ready for the bottom of the 5th here at Veterans Field, and a Chatham Bars Inn call to the bullpen is made by the Wareham Gatemen. Lucas Malstedt, the right-handed reliever, enters in relief of the starter Yoel Tejeda Jr., and Malstedt will face the top of the Chatham lineup, starting with the left-hander Austin Overn. Malstedt is ready, and now he has to step off if Jeff Merzel, our home plate umpire, ushers him off the mound. We do it again. Malstedt's ready for his first pitch. The right-hander delivers, and he misses low with a changeup, 1 ball and no strikes. Malstedt is a junior from Clemson, Florida native who works from a sidearm delivery, nearly grazing the mound with his knuckles as he comes home. Here's his 1-0. Overn takes a strike. 1-1 the count on Chatham's leadoff hitter. Malstedt is 6'3", 175 pounds. He stares in for his sign, comes set at the bell. 1-1 pitch. Overn golfs it foul off his own foot down the first baseline. A ball and 2 strikes. Overn today has singled and scored Chatham's only run. That came in the bottom of the 1st inning as he stole 2 bases and scored on an error by the catcher Gerald. And his second at-bat, he flew out to right. Malstedt shakes twice and finds his sign. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. It bounces off the catcher Gerald as Overn runs to first, and he's going to get to the bag. No throw from Jacob Gerald. Overn was fooled badly on a changeup that missed well outside. Jacob Gerald, it was so far that he couldn't get the glove to it, and Overn had an easy run to first. So it's the 6th strikeout of the day for Chatham, but it allows Austin Overn to reach. Second night in a row that we've seen a drop 3rd strike. Hyannis got Nick Groves on in the 4th inning yesterday after he swung and missed at a pitch that was not caught. It's a play that does not happen all that often in baseball, but we have seen it now on back-to-back nights here at Veterans Field. Here's Kyle Lodise, the right-hander. He takes in the dirt on a changeup near his feet, 1 ball and no strikes. Gerald, the catcher, slid to his left to block it up and keep Overn at first. 4-1 Wareham leads in the bottom of the 5th inning at Veterans Field. Malstedt delivers, and Lodise takes outside, 2 balls and no strikes. A's left 2 runners on base in the 4th inning. They've gotten a base runner in each frame so far against Wareham, but have only managed to score the 1 run. 2-0 pitch is off the inside corner, 3 balls and no strikes. A spinning frisbee breaking ball at 74 miles an hour didn't quite catch the inside corner. 3-0 on Lodise. Here's the pitch. It spots up at the bottom of the zone, strike 1 called. So Overn reached on the drop 3rd strike. And now a 3-1 count on Lodise, the right-handed hitting shortstop, with Ike Irish on deck. Pick to first, and Overn dives back in. Malstedt is sidearm to the plate, but overhand to first. Kind of caught me off guard when he spun around and rifled it to the bag. 3-1, Lodise shows bunt, and he takes off the inside corner, ball 4. So 2 base runners start the 5th inning after the call to the bullpen for Wareham, and that means that Ike Irish is the tying run.
I'm always fascinated by what draws someone to go to this delivery, especially when you see a guy throw overhand to first.
Malstedt dangles his right arm as he looks for his sign. Now pins his glove on his belt. First pitch to the lefty Irish comes home, and it's down low with a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Malstedt transferred to Clemson after 2 years with Wofford. This past season for the Tigers, a 4.22 earned run average in 27 appearances. 1-0. Swing and a miss from Irish. It was late on the 83-mile-an-hour fastball, and the count moves to 1-1. In those 27 appearances, Malstedt would routinely go multiple innings, tossing 53 1/3 for the full season. He stares to second, comes home, and Irish chops it to a running shortstop Jimenez. He goes the long way to first, and it's in time to get Irish. Overn goes to third as Lodis advances to second. So Irish moves over the 2 runners, but he's retired for the first out of the inning.
Works as a swinging bunt, and if you're Chatham, with John Bay coming to the plate, plenty of power, you're not too disappointed in that. Good chance here with a base hit from one of the next 2 guys to the plate to get you right back in this ballgame.
Both Bay, who's at the plate, and Arquette, who's on deck, homered last night. First pitch to Bay. He shows bunt, and he puts it down the third base line. Overn's coming home. Now he has to head back to the bag as the catcher Gerald has it. Overn tries to deke him out. He misses the tag. Now Overn races home. The throw to the pitcher covering. Malstedt tags out Overn as Lodis goes to third, and John Bay goes to second. Overn got underneath the tag of Jacob Gerald, used his former football skills to juke out the Clemson catcher, but he was still out at home. A lot of stuff going on that play, but lost in it is the fact that the cleanup man, John Bay, tried to bunt to bring in a run. Ryan Smythe, the manager for Wareham, comes out. He may want to talk about whether Overn was out of the base path. He chats with Jeff Merzel, the home plate umpire, and now heads back to the dugout. Boy, what a missed opportunity there for the A's. On the first pitch, John Bay bunts into an out.
Just seemed like a really bad jump from Overn, too, because it was not that bad of a bunt. Would have been close to a hit if Malstedt had to go to first.
That brings up Iva Arquette, second and third, 2 outs. And Arquette takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes. It was second and third and 1 out, and John Bay, who we have talked about on previous broadcasts, has done a good job of catching teams off guard and bunting for hits. That time looked like he was either trying to bunt for a hit or squeeze, and neither really worked. So he didn't get the bunt close enough to the third baseline, and Overn wasn't far enough off of third to score. If anything, Bay had more room on the right side of the infield to try and push the bunt away from home plate instead of right in front of home where Malstedt picked it up. The catcher Gerald, after talking with Malstedt, goes back behind home. 1-0. Arquette takes a changeup inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The A's still have second and third, with Lodis off the third base bag and Bay striding off second. Arquette is the tying run. 2-0. He takes a changeup at the bottom of the zone, 2 balls and 1 strike. Iva has struck out twice today, swinging K in the first and another one in the 4th. Chatham trails 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Malstedt deals, and a swinging roller back behind home plate moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. That time it looked like Arquette, after being patient the whole at-bat, chased below the zone on a pitch that was nearing his shoelaces. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Iva Arquette. Second and third, 2 outs. And a pitch misses outside off the glove of the catcher Gerald to move the count full. If Arquette can reach, it would load the bases for Luke Cantwell, who is on deck. All set, nods. He's ready. 3-2 pitch. Arquette hits a high fly ball in foul territory left field. White, the left fielder, is over, and he watches it bounce to keep the count at 3-2. Arquette hit that one sky high at 94 miles an hour off his bat. Didn't really have the distance, but it scraped the sky before coming down for a foul ball. So we'll do it again, 3-2. As Malstedt looks to third, now to second. He brings it home. And Arquette hits it back up the middle. On a backhand, Bozer has it. He gets to his feet and he holds his throw. Lodis comes in to score. Bay to third, and Arquette picks up an RBI with a single to move Chatham down to just 4-2. The ball almost leaked into center field, but Bozer's play to keep it on the infield kept 2 runs from scoring. Nonetheless, Chatham did get 1.
Oh yeah, saves a run there from Bozer and a smart play not to throw that baseball.
Marquette's got too much speed up the line at first. Bozer would not have had a chance, and Bay was racing to try and head around third. Here's the lefty, Cantwell. He swings and misses for strike 1. So Chatham trails now just 4-2. A run in. That was the first hit of the inning off the bat of Iva Arquette. 0-1. Down low with a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Today, Cantwell has hit a deep fly ball to center field and struck out looking in his 2 times to the plate. 1-1. He takes another changeup that's off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Malstedt has come in and he has failed to find the zone on many occasions. After Yoel Tejeda went the first 4, Malstedt struggles in the 5th. And he gets a swinging strike 2 from Luke Cantwell, who was all kinds of tied up. The count moves to 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 35th pitch coming from Malstedt. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Cantwell comes up empty with 2 aboard, but Chatham gets 1 run on 1 hit. No Wareham Gatemen errors. 2 runners left on base as the tying run is stranded at first. That sends us to the top of the 6th. The 4-2 lead for the Wareham Gatemen. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
I got so down and out in Frisco, tired of the pills and the rain. I picked up headed for the sunshine. I left a good thing behind. Seemed all of our love was in vain. Now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. I come here looking for a new life, one I wouldn't have to explain. That voice that keeps me awake at night, one little piece would make everything right. If I could just turn off my brain. But now my baby's coming in on the Tucson train. We fought hard over nothing. We fought till nothing remained.
We enter the top of the 6th as the final remnants of the sun set here at Veterans Field, and Wareham holds a 4-2 lead over the Chatham A's here at home. Pierce George will stay on the hill for Chatham. The right-handed reliever set to work his 4th full inning for Chatham. And he'll face the bottom third of the Gatemen order, Eli Putnam, Nate Early, and Colby Turner, 2 righties and a lefty. First, it's Eli Putnam, the first baseman from Davidson, who awaits the first pitch from George and takes to the backstop. A fastball at 95 well high, 1 ball and no strikes. Putnam, a righty, has struck out looking and grounded out to third today. He taps the plate twice, swivels his bat. George stares in. Here's his 1-0. Swing and a miss from Putnam. It's a ball and a strike. 4 hits for the Gatemen, 4 runs. All came in the second on the grand slam from Brendan Summerhill. 6 hits, just 2 runs for Chatham. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Putnam went around as he tried to hold his swing. George gets a sword for strike 2. From the windup, here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back into the glove of Smithwick. It's the 8th strikeout for Chatham pitching, and there's 1 away in the 6th inning. Fifth strikeout alone for Pierce George, who's working deep into this game as he calls out Campbell Smithwick from behind home plate to talk. In just 13 appearances this year at Alabama, George went 12 1/3 innings. Here, if he's able to finish the sixth, he will have gone 4 2/3 in one outing for Chatham. He chats with his catcher Campbell Smithwick in front of the mound, and that gives us time to check out the Cape League scoreboard, presented as always by our friends at Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, a Chatham pregame tradition.
We were there pregame today.
Delicious, as always.
It was. Couple final scores for you. Hyannis 5, Harwich 2. Brewster 10, Katuitt 7.
First pitch to Early. Swing and a miss from the lefty at an 86-mile-an-hour changeup. No balls and a strike.
So where that puts Chatham in the East, Harwich drops to 6-5, Brewster up to 5-6. A's 5-5 coming into tonight.
George is ready. Here's the 0-1. And it's low, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Top of the East in YD at 7-3, facing bottom of the East, Orleans 2-8. YD has a 3-2 lead in the top of the 7th in that game.
Here comes the 1-1. Off the plate outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
And the last score, about to go final it appears. Falmouth up 4-2 at home over Bourne. Top of the 9th and 2 outs. Commodores 1 out away from 2 straight wins to go to 3-8.
2-1. Early rockets it into right field. It falls for a base hit. It rolls out to a crouching Aston Larson, who tosses it in. Second hit of the day for Nate Early, who's aboard on a 1-out single. Falmouth entered yesterday with just 1 win on the season and a chance for the Commodores to do something that the A's haven't done all year, which is win 2 straight. Chatham won yesterday in 4.5 innings of foggy baseball over Hyannis. Entered today with a chance to get that elusive winning streak, but trail Wareham 4-2. Here's the right-handed bat of Colby Turner, and he takes a pitch high and in that it hit him. Sounded like it might have been the knob of the bat, but for the second time today, Turner's hit by a pitch near the hands. And it puts runners at first and second with 1 out. Didn't look like Turner was sure that it hit him. The first time he was absolutely sure on a pitch that hit him in the wrist. But this time he stepped back and he awaited the call of whether he was hit or not.
Home plate umpire never pointed to first until he started walking down there.
Eric Beatty is out of the Chatham dugout. He points to the bullpen, which means that Pierce George is done on the hill today for Chatham. He gave a valiant effort after giving up a grand slam on his first pitch. He has thrown up 3 zeros, and now he'll have to rely on a new right-handed arm to put up a 0 here in the 6th. Our right-hander's coming in for Chatham. The Chatham bars in, call to the bullpen in the top of the 6th inning. We'll step away with them here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network here at Veterans Field underneath the lights. Wareham leads 4-2 with a new pitcher coming in and Pierce George departing to claps from the fans here at Veterans Field.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
New Chatham pitcher on the mound as we welcome you back to the top of the 6th inning here at Veterans Field. Wareham leads Chatham 4-2 and has 2 runners aboard with 1 out as Tyler Kozera, the new right-hander, enters for Chatham in relief of Pierce George. Kozera is 6'3", 215 pounds, and he is set to make his 3rd Chatham appearance so far this summer. He'll face the lefty Brendan Summerhill to start, with Nate Early the runner at 2nd and Colby Turner off of 1st. Kozera bends at the waist and now comes set. A look at the leadoff lefty he deals. Summerhill shows bunt and lines it back to the screen. No balls and 1 strike. George went 4 innings for Chatham. Gave up 4 hits and as of now 1 run. He did give up 3 inherited runners to score on a grand slam to this man, Brendan Summerhill. Now he's Kozera's duty. And Summerhill checks his swing at a low changeup. And he did not go around. 1 ball and 1 strike. George entered and on the first pitch to Summerhill, the left-hander from Arizona torched it over the right center field wall. As of now, after that, George did not give up a run. 1-1 offering. Summerhill takes outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2 runners that are aboard, Early and Turner, are George's responsibility, and they got on by way of a single and a hit by pitch. Kozera, the UCF product, is ready. Behind in the count, 2-1. He looks to 2nd and comes home. In the dirt, it bounces off of Smithwick, and that allows both runners to advance. It hopped over the head of the catcher Smithwick, who picked it up off a couple of hops, but Early goes to 3rd and Turner to 2nd. Takes the double play out of order and prompts Chatham to bring the infield in. A 4-2 Gatemen lead in the top of the 6th. Wareham threatening to add more with runners at 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. Kozera delivers, and Summerhill breaks his bat on a ground ball past the 3rd base bag. Just fair. Both runs will come in to score as Summerhill heads for 2nd. John Bay gets it in from the left field line, and Summerhill adds 2 more runs batted in to give the Gatemen a 6-2 lead. All 6 RBI today for Wareham off the bat of Brendan Summerhill on a bat that no longer exists as it was shattered into 2 big pieces, but gives him his 3rd hit of the night.
There was no luck about the 400-foot grand slam he hit, but you don't see a whole lot of broken bat 2-run doubles, and that was one of them. Just snuck past the 3rd base bag, and with the infield in, you don't need a whole lot to squeak it through the infield.
Seemed to catch Arquette off guard at 3rd, as here's Bobby Bozer. Right on right, Summerhill takes off for 3rd on a pitch that bounces off of Smithwick. Summerhill takes the turnaround 3rd, but he'll stop there. It's a wild pitch for Tyler Kozera. 1 ball and no strikes. Summerhill has been a menace today for Wareham. That's his 3rd stolen base. He's got 3 hits and all 6 knocked in for the Gatemen. A 1-man wrecking crew atop the Wareham batting order. Infield in again for Chatham, with Summerhill at 3rd and 1 out. Kozera deals and spots up on the inside corner with 94, 1-1. Andrew, don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. Summerhill is now just a triple away from hitting for the cycle at Veterans Field. Single in the 1st, double here in the 6th, and that home run in the 2nd.
He'll get his chance, too.
1-1. Swing and a miss from Bozer. It's a ball and 2 strikes. And we've seen with his motion on the base paths, he's got triple speed. Some guys don't. Brendan Summerhill does. He is off 3rd base as Kozera shakes with 1 out in the inning. 1-2 pitch. Bozer takes inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Have you ever seen the cycle?
I've never seen the cycle, nor have I called the cycle, obviously. It feels like a rite of passage. I really want to see it.
Yeah, I don't think I have either, although it did happen on the Cape a couple times last summer.
2-2. off of Bozer. No, it's off of Smithwick, the catcher. It bounces into the on-deck circle as Summerhill trots in and scores Wareham's 7th run. A sloppy inning for Chatham here in the 6th has put the Gatemen in front 7-2. And I'm not convinced that that wasn't off of Bozer, who jumped out of the way, and maybe because Bozer was in the way of the pitch originally, Smithwick just couldn't find it. But he was all kinds of tied up behind home plate and never caught the baseball. Smithwick gives a fist bump to Kozera. Now with the bases clear, 3 runs in the inning for the Gatemen at 7-2. The count now 3 balls and 2 strikes on Bozer, who's 0 for 3. Kozera shakes. And now he fires. Off the plate outside, ball 4. Fastball misses. Puts Bombi Bozer at first. Still only 1 out. What is the coolest thing that you've seen, if you haven't seen the cycle, that you can remember at a baseball game?
It's a good question. Seen plenty of walk-offs.
Yeah.
Those are cool. I saw a couple walk-offs in a super regional at Vanderbilt once.
Amazing. Here's Murph Gray, the right-handed hitting third baseman. He swings and loops it foul back behind home plate on a good swing. No balls and 1 strike. What teams were those by?
It's a long time ago. Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. I believe Mississippi State walked it off night 1. Vanderbilt walked it off night 2. It was by far the best super regional I've ever seen.
A pick to first sends Bozer scrambling back, but he's in safely.
And walk-offs at that stage of a tournament like that, they just mean a whole lot more.
Were they walk-off home runs?
One of them definitely was.
0-1 on Gray, who has a single and a walk today. Kozera again spins and throws to first. Bozer back in.
Have not seen a no-hitter. Have not seen a perfect game. Saw a 1-hitter here last summer. Brody Brecht out of Iowa. Matt Tugboat Wilkinson. JUCO product.
One's already in the minor leagues. 0-1. Inside to Gray, a ball and a strike. Brecht likely a first-round pick after pitching for the A's last season.
Oh, yeah. Wilkinson already moved up from low A to high A ball. There are a possibility of 3 first-round picks from last summer's Chatham A's team.
1-1. Here's the pitch. Gray bounces it towards second. Davis has it. He flips to second for 1. Over to first. It's a double play. So for the second time today, Chatham turns 2, but the Gatemen add 3 more runs to their already 4-run lead. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 7-2 Wareham, with the A's bringing to the plate the bottom of the order. Larson, Davis, Smithwick coming up. 3 runs on a couple of hits, no errors in the field. We'll be back with more Chatham A's baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
And I showed you stars
Hi, this is Phil Fox from Pittsburgh. You're listening to Chatham's A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Back for the bottom of the 6th inning here at Veterans Field, and the Gatemen make a Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen. It brings in Sam Metter, the new right-hander from St. John's, who takes over for Lucas Malstedt. Final line on Malstedt, an inning pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout. And it gives way to Sam Metter here in the 6th inning with the Gatemen on top 7-2 at Veterans Field. 4 runs in the 2nd for Wareham, 3 in the 6th. And in the bottom half of that frame, Chatham looks to respond with the bottom of the order. Ashton Larson, Jaden Davis, Campbell Smithwick. All from the SEC, 2 lefties and 1 righty. Larson is an LSU product. Playing right field today for Chatham, he's got 2 singles. Metter, a righty, comes set below the letters. He deals, and Larson takes a changeup on the outside corner for called strike 1. Metter is 6'3", 215 pounds. Just wrapped up his junior season at St. John's. 0-1. Swing and a miss from Larson. It's quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Metter had a 5.19 ERA across 26 innings pitched this year. 32 strikeouts and 6 saves. He uses his hands to flick and shake off a sign before he finds the one he wants. 0-2 pitch. Larson takes in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Larson has singles in both the 2nd and 4th innings today. 2 of Chatham's 6 hits. Gatemen also have just 6 base hits, but lead on the scoreboard 7-2. 1-2 on the way. Off the outside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was an 87-mile-an-hour changeup that just barely missed out of the hands of Metter. The count moves even. Here's the 2-2. Up high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not close, as the catcher Gerald had to jump up to grab it. And now Metter in danger of walking the first hitter here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Good at bat from Larson. New pitcher, seeing a lot of pitches. Helps the next couple of guys to the plate.
3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He climbed the ladder with the fastball, and there's 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. 7th total strikeout today for Wareham pitching, and the 1st for the new reliever Metter. Here's Jaden Davis, the 2nd baseman from Vandy. Now a right-on-right matchup with 1 out and the bases empty. Metter delivers. Davis lines it straight back. It's no balls and a strike. Back to our baseball discussion. I would have to say the coolest thing I've ever seen as the catcher Gerald goes out to talk with his new reliever. I saw the only time in Major League history where a team's starting battery both hit grand slams. Madison Bumgarner and Buster Posey against the Cincinnati Reds. I want to say in the early 2010s, back in the heyday of the Giants. Both had grand slams and a Giants win.
That's a good one. And I think you will most likely get to hold on to saying that's the only time it's ever happened for your life, unless Shohei does it.
His catcher would have to do it too, but Will Smith can hit. 0-1. Davis takes low. It's a ball and a strike.
I mean, that is like the lone man that is standing between you and being able to say that for the rest of your life.
Well, we'll see. At the end of his career, it could be smooth sailing. Although two-way players might pop up more and more. 1-1. Upstairs to Davis, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Continue to be more and more seen throughout the college game, which you would expect to start to trickle up all the way to the major league level.
There are 2 current or former anglers from this season that are two-way players. 2-1. Davis cracks it on the ground right side. Past the glove of the second baseman, Bozer. It trickles into right field. Davis is aboard with his 2nd straight base hit. He's got a single with 1 out. Kyle Johnson from Duke who has since left the A's to go participate for Team USA on the freshman team, is both an outfielder and pitcher at Duke, and we saw him do both for Chatham this summer. And Jet Johnston, who just finished up his freshman season at Texas A&M and is in the transfer portal, also is a two-way guy. He plays third, and he's a right-handed pitcher. Here's Campbell Smithwick with a runner at first. He takes in the dirt, and it gets to the backstop, past the catcher Gerald. Davis advances to second on a wild pitch. It's certainly not the cleanest day that we have seen today from the pitchers and catchers. Many stolen bases, wild pitches, and pass balls have been prevalent all day.
More activity out there on the base paths than both teams would like. I think the stolen bases you can live with, but the number of wild pitches, pass balls, throw down errors, all of those things, that's just continued to multiply throughout this game. And it started early and often.
A ball and no strikes on Campbell Smithwick, who's 0 for 2 with a line out to center and a ground out to second. Runner at second, one out. And Smithwick bounces it towards short. Jimenez over to his right. He fields, the shortstop throws in time for out number 2. Davis heads to third as Smithwick is retired. That brings Austin Overn, the leadoff man from USC, to the plate for the 4th time today. With a runner at third and 2 outs, Wareham leading 7-2 in the bottom of the 6th. Overn strides into the lefty batter's box, looks out at the righty Metter, who kicks and deals, and misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. During the break, I had thought of one other cool baseball feat I'd seen.
Did you forget it?
Believe through my description of the inning, I have forgotten it.
Oh.
I'm racking my brain. 1-0 to Overn. Off the plate outside, 2 balls and no strikes.
You need me to start talking while you remember it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Pause for silence before this pitch.
Okay.
Close my eyes, and I still can't think of it. 2-0. Way high. 3 balls and no strikes. Trying to jog my memory by thinking of things that I was talking about.
Professional game? College game?
It's gotta be a professional game.
Oh, okay.
3-0 to Overn. Here's the pitch. At the top of the zone, 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, while I think about it, 7-2, Wareham leads in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runner at third is Jaden Davis for Austin Overn with 2 outs. Sam Meddert comes set. Here's his 3-1. Swing and a miss from Overn. It's 3-2. I don't think I have it.
It'll come back, maybe in like the 8th inning.
We'll have moved on by then, I'm sure. But I won't be afraid to interrupt you to tell you what it is. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Overn goes down on strikes, and the A's do not score. They strand Jaden Davis at third, which means it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors in the field, 1 runner left on base. We head to the top of the 7th, still a 7-2 lead with Kozera heading out on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham A's on the air.
Sun coming up over New York City. School bus driver in a traffic jam. Staring at the faces in a rearview mirror. Looking at the promise of the promised land. One kid dreams of fame and fortune. One kid helps pay the rent.
7-2 Gatemen in the top of the 7th inning as Tyler Kozera readies up to face Antonio Jimenez. Campbell Smithwick wasn't ready for the pitch. He stands up out of his crouch, throws his palms up in the air at Tyler Kozera as if to say, "You're going to try and kill me with this pitch?" And now he's back behind home plate. Kozera's ready from the windup, and now he deals. Jimenez shows bunt, and he bunts it off of Smithwick. Foul ball, no balls on 1 strike. Jimenez, Sam White, and Jacob Gerald, the 3 that will come to the plate for Wareham in the top of the 7th inning. 2 righties and a lefty against the right-hander Tyler Kozera.
I'm not convinced that Smithwick thought he had agreed on a sign yet.
Dealer's choice.
Catch
now
it.
Kozera's ready. Here's the 0-1. Off the outside corner, it's a ball and a strike.
Or just let it go to the backstop, whatever you choose. I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Now, that's happened plenty of times today.
Just don't get our home plate umpire hit.
Catcher's worst nightmare. 1-1. On the inside corner, strike 2. Changeup at 82 miles an hour pushes the count to a ball and 2 strikes. Jimenez has walked, struck out today, and grounded into a 6-3 double play. 1-2 offering. Off the inside part of the plate, 2 balls and 2 strikes. We teased it last inning. There have been 7 combined wild pitches today, to go along with a bevy of stolen bases on the base paths. And now it's our home plate umpire, Jeff Merzel, who throws his hands up. Jimenez has something in his eye ahead of the 2-2 pitch. He takes his batting gloves off, spits, wipes his eye, and now steps back in the box. Kozera is set. Finally the 2-2. Here it comes. In the dirt with a changeup, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Chatham has stolen 2 bases today. 4 have come for the Gatemen. 3-2 pitch. Jimenez cracks it foul, just past the third base bag. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes. You can hear Eric Beatty, the pitching coach, trying to will Tyler Kozera to throw a strike to avoid the leadoff walk in the top of the 7th, with the Gatemen already in front 7-2. Kozera's ready. Here's the pitch. On the outside corner. No. Oh, yes, finally strike 3 call. Boy, Jeff Merzel waited back. He didn't make any kind of motion, and he finally pumped his fist for a strikeout.
Well, either Campbell Smithwick or Antonio Jimenez was going to look a little silly there, because Jimenez took off for first, and Smithwick threw it down to third, both before the ring-up was signaled.
That is maybe the latest call that we have seen so far this year. But it's the 9th strikeout for Chatham pitching and the first out in the 7th. Here's Sam White, and the lefty bounces it up the middle. The shortstop Lodis on the second base bag, throws to first to retire White on just 1 pitch. Tyler Kozera entered in relief of Pierce George after George went 4 full innings for Chatham. Now Kozera working his 2nd inning. Swing and a miss at the first pitch from Jacob Gerald, the catcher. It's 0-1. George's final line was 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts. So far, Kozera has tossed an inning and a third. 0-1. Swing and a ground ball towards third. Arquette gives ground. He picks it up cleanly, and he throws quickly to first for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 frame for Tyler Kozera, who responds after giving up 3 in the 6th. That sends us to the 7th inning stretch, and we'll keep it here at Veterans Field during the 7th inning stretch. For now, we'll take a break and then try and get it back to you as the Anglers and the Gatemen stretch it out ahead of the bottom of the 7th.
Cape Cod Baseball Network and the
crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get 'em back. 'Cause it's a root for the home team. And if I don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's a 1, 2, or 3 strikes to out at the old ball game. Yeah.
We're back for the bottom of the 7th here at Veterans Field, where the Wareham Gatemen lead the Chatham A's by a score of 7-2. A's send 2-3-4 up in the order against Sam Metter, the right-handed reliever for Wareham. Kyle Lodis, the right-handed hitting shortstop, is the first batter against Metter, who worked a scoreless 6th. The right-hander is set, and he deals. Swing and a miss from Lodis at a curveball, 0-1. Metter gave up a 1-out single last inning to Jaden Davis, but stranded him at third by striking out Austin Overn, the leadoff man. 0-1. Lodis takes a strike. It's quickly 0-2. Kyle has walked and scored a run today. That was Chatham's second of the game that came in the 5th inning. Outside of the walk, he's got a strikeout and a fly out to right. 0-2. Lodis cracks it off of the glove of the third baseman Gray. It trickles into left. Lodis takes a quick turn around first, and he stops about 30 feet of the way to second and heads back to the bag. So it's a leadoff single for Kyle Lodis, who's got his first hit of the day to start the 7th. And an 0-2 count, Lodis got a pitch middle, and did not miss it, but on one hop, third baseman Gray almost snared it on a dive to his left. Here's Ike Irish, the lefty DH, with a runner at first. And Irish lines it straight back on a fastball at 91. It's no balls and 1 strike. Irish extended his hitting streak to 5 games with a single and went about 60 feet up the first base line in the 3rd inning. He's got a hit, a walk, and a ground out to short. 0-1. Here he takes a changeup that's on the outside corner, strike 2 called. So to both hitters, Sam Metter has gone ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Looking to fare better against Irish than he did against Lodis, who's at first. 0-2 pitch. Irish takes inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Irish really struggled to start the year for Chatham. At one point was at the top of the league lead in strikeouts. But on this 5-game hitting streak, he's been lining it left and right. He swings here and bounces it on a big hop to first. Putnam goes to second for 1. Back to first. Irish beats it out. And it goes in to the Wareham dugout, and that'll allow Irish to advance to second. So a fielder's choice and an almost double play. But instead of retiring Irish at first, it's a throwing error on the shortstop Jimenez that allows Irish to get to second.
Gatemen are racking them up tonight.
Errors?
Yeah. What did you think I was referring to?
I don't know, but this is just checking. Irish will get pinch run for by Chase Cruson, the outfielder heading to UCF. So Irish finishes his day 1 for 3 with a walk, and Cruson will run in the 3 spot. You are right, that's the 3rd error today on Wareham.
Hasn't really mattered, but let's do an unearned run in the first.
Gatemen now have 15 errors through 11 games this season. Feels like all of them have come in the 2 games that the Gatemen have played against Chatham. Here's John Bay with 1 out and a runner at second. First pitch to the righty. Bay leaves it low, 1 ball and no strikes. Chatham and Wareham met on opening day. The Gatemen had 2 errors in that game. Did not pitch all that well in an 11-1 run rule loss. 1-0 pitch. Bay leaves it high, 2 balls and no strikes. 7-2, Chatham trails in the bottom of the 7th inning, trying to come back and stop the Wareham winning streak that right now stands at 5 games, best in the Cape League after Cotuit lost. And Bay takes a strike, 84-mile-an-hour slider on the outside corner, 2-1. Bay grips the bat, neon green batting gloves, wiggles his bat behind his head, and he checks his swing but goes around at the 2-1 to move the count to 2-2. It's a departure from the gloves that he used during batting practice, which said Ole Miss on them. He told me he got them in a trade with Campbell Smithwick.
Just a batting practice trade, I guess.
I guess so. 2-2. And Bay bounces it up the middle. The shortstop Jimenez is over to his left. He corrals and he throws to first in time for out number 2. Cruson advances to third, and that brings up Iva Arquette with 2 outs. Maybe he doesn't want to rep another school during his Cape League games.
I guess.
He's a
Maybe
loyal
Campbell's
governor.
trying to get him to transfer.
Seems as of now that Bay is a loyal governor at Austin Peay. Maybe the SEC can sway him. Here's Iva Arquette, and he takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 7-2 Wareham, bottom of the 7th at Veterans Field. Runner at third for the 2nd straight inning for Chatham, as the A's have already left 8 on base through the first 6 innings.
It's always good to have a loyal governor.
1-0. On the outside corner, it's 1-1. Is that a politics joke?
Mm-hmm. Big night for politics.
Today is the day of the debate, correct?
Oh yeah, my home state. It's in Atlanta.
In the ATL. 1-1. Arquette checks his swing. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
That's all we got on that subject, though.
We're here at the VET, Veterans Field, home of the Chatham A's.
I don't think that one's going to stick.
Need you to be a more loyal governor to me.
You got it.
2-1 on Arquette.
Whatever you need.
From the stretch,
Silver platter.
Meddert is set. He deals, and Arquette takes a breaking ball. Strike 2 called on the outside corner. Deuces are wild. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. The pinch runner Chase Cruson is off the bag at third. With 2 outs in the inning and Chatham trailing by 5. Meddert stares for his sign. He comes set. Now he delivers. And Arquette takes high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2 on Arquette, who is 1 for 3 today. A single with an RBI in the 5th after back-to-back strikeouts started his day. 3-2 pitch. Arquette chops it towards short. 2 big hops to Jimenez. He's behind the bag and he chucks it to first. Out number 3. Arquette was hustling up the line, but for the 2nd straight inning, Chatham strands a runner at third. 9 left on base for the A's through the first 7 innings. I'll hand it back to Andrew Selover as we head to the top of the 8th inning. It's 7-2, the Wareham Gatemen in front as the Gatemen look to advance their now Cape High 5-game winning streak to 6. Need just 6 more outs on the pitcher's mound to get there. It's 7-2 as we head to the top of the 8th. Bottom of the order coming up for the Gatemen. Stick with us. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on TRC.
Top of the 8th here at Veterans Field as they finish out the 50-50 raffle, giving out the big bucks at Veterans Field. Chatham trailing 7-2 to Wareham.
I won.
No, you didn't.
No.
I'm Andrew Selover. He's Jack Smith. First pitch from Tyler Kozera, squared and pulled back for strike one. In there to Eli Putnam, who leads things off in the 7th hole for the Gatemen. Defensive replacement for you, Austin Overn out in center field. He's taken out for Will Gasparino as the 0-1 slider misses low and away. Ball one. Kozera from the windup, 1-1. Pounds the mitt with a fastball, strike two called. Putnam so far 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. 1-2 to the righty. Tipped foul. Down at the feet of Smithwick, the catcher. How much money was the 50-50 tonight? How much did they give out?
I didn't hear, but I would assume it was around $3 million.
I was serious.
I don't know. I didn't hear.
Oh.
Was busy running your board.
I didn't hear anybody screaming. I wonder if the winner is here.
The attendance tonight was 2,115.
Generous. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on the slider. Putnam down for the 3rd time tonight on strikes. Second strikeout of the night for Kozera.
But if there were 2,000 people here tonight, that means that right now there are no more than 500 left in the stadium.
Early to bed here in Chatham. Kozera deals. First pitch swinging, 3-hopper to first. Cantwell gobbles it up and beats Early to the bag, and Nate Early is retired for the first time tonight. 2 up, 2 down for Kozera. Kozera tossed a 1-2-3 top of the 7th, trying to replicate with the bottom of the lineup for the Gatemen as Colby Turner digs in from the right side. Kozera winds and deals, and he misses in the dirt. Ball one. Kozera nods to the sign. His 1-0 pitch is bounced foul off the foot at the plate, 1-1. Wareham 7, Chatham 2. Top of the 8th, nobody on, 2 outs. A's out hitting the Gatemen 8-6 though. Just haven't converted with runners in scoring position. 1-1. Downstairs, 2-1.
In an earlier season manager's show, Sheet said to me that once the team goes to bed and wakes up the next day, there's no more momentum left.
1-1 pitch is in there. Strike two called.
And it seems like this team just hasn't been able to capture that momentum or whatever momentum exists this season. They lose to the Gatemen tonight, still no winning streak at any point this year.
1-2 pitch, just missed the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So there's something to the mentality of you can flush a loss, but it just doesn't feel like this team's been able to build on its wins.
Long pause from Kozera. Now the 2-2 is golfed towards left center field on a line, and Gasparino lays out, but he can't get there. It one-hops the wall. John Bay backs him up, fires it in, not before a stand-up double for Colby Turner. His first hit of the day after he was hit by 2 pitches already tonight. Oh no, we're getting to the last call for the winners on the money on the 50-50.
Can we make a fake ticket?
I say it goes to me if we don't find the winner. We'll split it, actually.
Good.
50-50.
Does not quite deserve a laugh.
All right, now I got to focus in. Brendan Summerhill is to the plate. He's a triple shy of the cycle. And he takes the first pitch he sees from Kosera downstairs. Single in the first, 2 stolen bases there. Grand slam in the second. Then a ground out in the fourth and a double in the sixth. 1-0 from Kosera is hit high in the air towards left center field. Gasparino ranging back. He's at the track and he makes the grab. So Tyler, Kosera works around a 2-out double from Colby Turner. Gatemen go for no runs on 1 hit, that being the double. No errors in the field. And 1 man left on base. Still searching for the 50-50 winner at Veterans Field. Stick with us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRC, Cape Cod.
In the sun somewhere, there's some buddies in a Chevy turning up Tom Petty on the way to the Cape. They'll be there all day. In the sun somewhere, there's a home run ball flying over that wall off of Little League bat. Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. It's a road trip on a wild tear, and I'll call you when we get there. Here's to making that coffee can cash. Here's to making those good times last. 2 for 1 at the fireworks stand. Cold beer in my right hand. Pretty girls in a top-down Jeep. Wind blowing through their bleached blonde hair. Having fun forever young out there in the sun somewhere. September, it's windows on a road and a grape snow cone and a feet on the dash, a shotgun seat laid back, and you'll always remember that Malibu buzz and a Sonic cup and a shirt on the limb.
Bottom of the 8th here at Veterans Field. Chatham still trailing Wareham 7-2. Jack and I still holding on to our hope of winning the 50-50 raffle despite not having a ticket. Luke Cantwell leads things off. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1.
Do you know a counterfeit guy?
No, do you?
At this moment, I wish I did.
That was said with too much confidence, as if people know counterfeit people. 1-0's high, 2-0.
It's got to be someone's full job.
Of what? Making fake money?
Yeah, and or fake 50-50 raffle tickets.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they're focused on. 2-0 comes across just above the letters. 3-0.
You would think, though, to be good at counterfeiting. As bad as it is.
Is that a verb?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd have to spend a lot of time doing it.
3-0. Just caught a piece of the outside corner. Strike 1. I have not spent a lot of time doing it, and don't know anybody that has. But I doubt people are making counterfeit 50-50 raffle tickets. 3-1. Cantwell lays off. Skips through the 5-hole of Gerald back to the backstop. Leadoff walk for the A's to start the bottom of the 8th. Chatham trailing it by 5.
Get your dollar dogs in the snack shack.
Dollar dogs, big.
Think about how many dollar dogs we could buy with our 50-50 raffle win.
People are off to the races to the snack shack.
Little savory dessert.
What, a dollar dog?
Dollar dog.
Do they serve dessert at the snack shack? First pitch, Ashton Larson takes it right back up the middle, a base hit. Cantwell stays put at second. Larson goes to 3 for 4 on the night with 3 singles. Chatham might be in business here in the 3rd inning of work for Sam Metter. Oh, we've got 1 taker at least on the Dollar Dogs. Now they're starting to flow over there. They just need to see that at bat.
No one wanted to be the first one to go buy a hot dog at 9:40 p.m. But
Yeah,
once someone went,
I mean, they are flooding over there. And that's not a joke this time. And with that, there is a mound meeting coming for the Gatemen. Another sidewinding righty is warming up for Wareham in the right-handed in the right field bullpen.
they just redrew numbers.
They picked another one? That person can't be here either.
Redraw for half the money is 110733. 110733. Collect your prize at the table behind the press box.
I mean, if the second person doesn't have it, it's got to be mine. Meanwhile, Sam Medard's night is done on the mound. A pitching change with Chatham Bars in called to the bullpen for the Gatemen. We'll take a break as a new reliever comes in. First two to the plate in the eighth have reached base on a walk and a hit for Chatham. And a new reliever coming for the Gatemen when we return to the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Oh woman, don't treat me so mean. You're the meanest old woman that I've ever seen. I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this away, 'cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
what you said?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand
Don't
you.
you come back no more.
You can't mean that.
And don't you come back no
Oh, now, baby, please.
Don't you come back no
What you trying to do to me?
A Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen for the Wareham Gatemen here in the bottom of the eighth inning. Back with Jack Smith, I'm Andrew Selover, and now on the mound for the Gatemen, Jacob Faulkner, righty sidewinder out of Princeton, set to make his third appearance of the summer. He comes in for Sam Medard. Line not quite final, but as of now, Medard stands at 2+ innings of work. 3 hits, so far no runs, a walk and 2 strikeouts. He leaves responsible for Luke Cantwell at second base, who walked to start the eighth, and Ashton Larson, who stands at first with a single. 2 on, nobody out. A's trailing at 7-2 with Jaden Davis to the plate. He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles. Faulkner crouches down and he submarines home. And he finds the outside corner at 74 for strike 1.
Wareham grows these guys on trees. 2 sidewinders in 1 game.
Oh, 1. That's roped and caught on a line at second, and they've got Larson doubled up, an underhand flip from Bozer, a double play. Can't hit it much better than Jaden Davis did, but he lined it straight into the glove of Bobby Bozer, and Ashton Larson was halfway to second. Chatham's threat just about eradicated like that. 2 outs, 1 on. Campbell Smithwick digs in. Faulkner comes home, and he misses inside ball 1.
Sheets is at the top step of the dugout, and he has kept Ashton Larson right next to him to have a conversation about what Sheets saw on the play. Likely just making sure that the freshman from LSU doesn't get overexcited in moments like that and run the A's out of potential rallies.
Turns into a line out to second and a pickoff for a double play. 1-0. Again, Smithwick turns out of the way of it in the left-hand batter's box. 2 balls, no strikes. Faulkner, a 6'1", 210-pound righty. But he crouches down to about maybe 5 feet on the mound. Bent over, looks back. Now submarines home and finds the zone at 74. 2 balls, 1 strike.
The core strength it takes to hold that position is phenomenal.
Different release than Lucas Malstead, second pitcher of the night for Wareham. 2-1. Full check swing, appeal, no swing. 3 balls, 1 strike for Smithwick. Malstead was around a 3/4 release. Faulkner is much more of a submarine type, down below his waist. Arm coming up, and that pitch is lined the other way, foul ball. Runs the count to full on Smithwick. He's 0 for 3 tonight, 2 groundouts and a flyout. Will Gasparino hanging around the on-deck circle after he was a defensive replacement for Austin Overn in the 1 hole for Chatham. And the pitch is hit high in the air towards medium depth left center. Over is White. He's under it. He has it. And Chatham leaves another man on base. The Anglers end with no runs on 1 hit, no errors in the field from the Gatemen, and 1 man left on base. What started as 2 on and nobody out ends in a whimper for Chatham. And we are through 8 full here at Veterans Field. Gatemen 7, Anglers 2, top of the 9th next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham on TRZ, Cape Cod.
I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. I'm gonna take you, girl, and hold you and do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. Yes, I am. Oh, yes, I am. One more thing I just want to say right here. I'm gonna wait till the stars come out and see that twinkle in your eyes. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour. That's when my love begins to shine. You're the only girl I know that really love me so.
Hi, this is Tyler Kazera from University of Central Florida. You're listening to Chatham A's Baseball with Andrew Selover and Jack Smith on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Back here for the top of the 9th. Chatham trailing Wareham 7-2. New arm on the mound. A Chatham Barzin called to the bullpen for the Anglers. And it is a 2-way. Jet Johnston, who goes out to see his first action in relief out of the bullpen for the Anglers this summer. He's played a couple games in the field. Now he pitches for the first time on Cape Cod.
The second baseman, number 6, Bobby Bozer.
We talked about the 2 two-way players for Chatham. Johnston being one, Kyle Johnson the other, and he is currently with Team USA down in Cary, North Carolina. quick word for Campbell Smithwick out on the mound. Defensive replacement over at third base, Iva Arquette replaced by Landon Stripling here in the ninth. Final line for Tyler Kozera, 2 2/3, 2 hits, a run. It was earned on a walk and 2 strikeouts. Jet Johnston faces Bobby Bozer. First pitch, high for ball 1. Bozer's 0 for 3. 2 flyouts, a strikeout, and a walk. 5-game hit streak in danger here in the ninth. 1-0. That just missed the inside corner to the righty Bozer. Johnston works out of the stretch. His 2-0. Outside, ball 3. This season with Texas A&M, Johnston, 2 appearances, 2 innings pitched. Did not go so well. His 3-0. That's inside, ball 4. Johnston running it up to 94, but he throws 4 straight balls to start the top of the ninth. 4-pitch walk to Bobby Bozer. That likely ends his 5-game hit streak, but he has reached twice on 2 walks tonight.
6 total walks for Chatham pitching today.
In those 2 innings at A&M this year for Jet Johnston, he gave up 6 runs on 5 hits and 2 walks. First pitch in there, a strike called to Murph Gray. Wareham, 7 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. Chatham, 2 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Johnston's 0-1. Hammered foul down the left field line. 93, and Murph Gray was way out in front of it. A's got 1 in the first and then 1 in the 5th. 4 in the 2nd, 3 in the 6th tonight for Wareham. 0-2. Bounces in. Smithwick smothers it. 5-game win streak coming into tonight for the Gatemen. First time since 2017. And Wareham en route to making it 6. One, 2. Bounced in the hole, it's short. Lodis gets there, he flips to second. Davis flips to first. That's late, but a fielder's choice erases the lead runner. Another active play from Kyle Lodis. He's had a near flawless night over at shortstop with a couple great plays on the move.
A's have seen some defensive struggles at other infield positions, but shortstop's a place where they've gotten stellar defense, it feels like all year, from a couple of guys who've played there.
Lodis and Iva Arquette, the 2 most popular names written into that spot on the lineup card by Sheets. First pitch to Jimenez, inside, ball 1. And both of those guys really know how to play the position. Very different players. 1-0. Pounds the zone. 1-1 strike. Iva Arquette at 6'5". Kyle Lodis at 6 foot. Lodis not quite as good of an arm as Arquette, a little faster. Pickoff move to first. Gray back in with a slide. But both you would likely expect would be favorites to play that position at their new schools, or at Lodis, his new school, Georgia Tech. Arquette expected to return to Washington. 1-1. Bounces in, delayed steal. Smithwick throws down to second. He airmails it. Lodice backs it up before it could sail into center field.
5th stolen base of the day for the Gatemen.
3 of them in the first inning. If you haven't checked out Zach Wolf's article about Iva Arquette playing shortstop, make sure you do so. ChathamAnglers.com. Talks about at his height, not a position that you would expect Arquette to play, but nonetheless, he's made it work all the way to the Power 5 collegiate level. 2-1 to Jimenez. Breaking ball that dips in there. Strike 2.
And not to spoil the article, my favorite part was about Arquette talking about his height. And his coaches would say that they'd ask him how tall he was. And it felt like he was lying every time because he didn't want people to know just how tall he was. He now stands at 6'6".
Time called. Pitch clock violation on Jet Johnston.
His high school coach once asked him, Arquette, said, "Are you still growing?" And Arquette's response was, "I hope not," because he loves playing shortstop that much that he doesn't want to get moved to third. At Washington, he's had to play second as he waits his turn at shortstop, not because he can't play the position, but he wants to be a shortstop.
Now 3-2 the pitch. Misses inside, it skips away from Smithwick. Wild pitch sends Gray over to third. Walk to Jimenez, and they're at the corners with 1 out here in the 9th. One of the few times that you would hear an athlete say that they don't want to get taller.
Most athletes, if you were to go to their player profile page at their college or professional team, you could probably shave an inch or 2 off of the height. They like to bump guys up. Arquette is really one of the few guys that probably likes it the other way.
First pitch to Sam White. Downstairs, ball 1. Serves as a good reminder to check out all the work from Zach Wolf and Cooper Andrews, our 2 beat writers. Again, ChathamAnglers.com.
They've done a phenomenal job. Another feature out today. They're just churning them out.
1-0. Hit on the ground through the right side, a base hit. That scores Gray from third. Jimenez stays put at second. It's an RBI base hit, the first hit of the night for Sam White. And it is 8-2 in favor of the Gatemen. 1 out into the top of the 9th. Having fun over there in the Gatemen dugout. Brings up Jacob Gerald. He's 0 for 3. First pitch popped up behind the plate. That one will blow back over the backstop and out of play.
This Gatemen team has taken a complete 180 from opening day. A day that they didn't have a lot of energy, definitely didn't put their best foot forward. They have surged since losing to Chatham, and now seem like an energized bunch that has gelled.
Lost 11-1 that day as the 0-1 misses upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Poised for their 6th straight win. 0-1, rather 1-1. In there, strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Win tonight will keep the Gatemen in first place across the Cape League. Up their West Division lead to 2 games. 1-2 pitch. Check swing on a high fastball. Appeal down. No swing. A's got the lead in the first tonight, 1-0. Then a grand slam in the second gave Wareham a 4-1 lead. Gatemen never looked back. 2-2. Swing and a miss. 92 from Johnston. Right past Jacob Gerald. 2 outs, 1 run in. Runners at first and second here in the top of the 9th.
Oh boy. Hey, finish the inning right here. Come on.
Eli Putnam digs in. He's 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts tonight. Swings it from the right side. Second baseman Davis holding on the runner at second. And that's where Johnston spins and bounces a throw back. And Lodis slides into the outfield grass to keep it from going all the way to Gasparino. Jimenez was about to take off for third, and then he realized Lodis was back there to back it up. Not every shortstop is in that position, but Lodis on his toes still, down by 6 in the 9th. First pitch to Putnam. Fastball high, ball 1. A's are on the road tomorrow. Trip to YD for 5 o'clock first pitch at Red Wilson Field. 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Red Sox in the lead in the East Division as the 2-0 misses high. 3 balls, no strikes. Gatemen back home tomorrow off of Cape Cod. Take on Hyannis, a 6 o'clock first pitch. 3-0. Inside ball 4, they're loaded for the second time tonight for Wareham. Third walk of the inning from Jet Johnston.
The designated hitter, number 15, Nate Early.
Attack every pitch right here.
Brings Nate Early to the plate. YD ended up winning 5-3 at Orleans tonight, so A's go to face an 8-3 Red Sox team tomorrow. First pitch to Early. Popped up back behind the plate toward the first base dugout. Smithwick traces it and loses it out of play. 3 rows deep into the seats. Falmouth hung on to win tonight 4-2. That was the other game still in progress when we gave you a check of the Cape League scores presented by Sweet Tomatoes Pizza. Long look in from Johnston. Pitch clock never started, so he's got all the time he wants. 0-1. High, ball 1. Early so far has scored 2 of the 8 Wareham runs tonight. 2 singles, a hit by pitch, and a ground out. 1-1. Tipped into the mitt. Smithwick gives a point back to Johnston, who's 1 strike away from getting out of the 9th inning with just 1 run allowed. Bases full of Gatemen with 2 outs and an 8-2 Wareham advantage top of the 9th. Johnston out of the stretch. His 1-2. Popped out of play. Brendan Summerhill is 2 batters away. He's still a triple shy of the cycle, hoping that Early and Colby Turner can reach so he can give it 1 more crack. Early from the left side awaits. And hits another one foul out of play. Third base side over the Chatham dugout. Into a tree. We've got a chant going down in the first base dugout full of Gatemen. Saying battle. 1-2. Up and away. And a big cheer. Runs the count to even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Johnston delivers. Swing and a miss. Finally, he sets down a pesky Nate Early, who couldn't quite battle to see another pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning, separating 3 walks from Johnston. And on 1 hit, Wareham brings across 1 more run to open up an 8-2 advantage. A run on a hit, no errors, and 3 left on base for the Gatemen. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Wareham brings another new reliever on, up by 6. The Gatemen trying to close out their 6th straight win and send Chatham back below 500. Bottom of the 9th to finish us up next on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's! Chatham on GRC.
I was trying to find my way home, but all I heard was a drone bouncing off a satellite, crushing the last lone American night. This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? I was sitting around a dead dial, just another lost number in a file, dancing down a dark hole, just searching for a world with some soul. This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? This is radio nowhere. Is there anybody alive out there? Is there anybody alive out there? I just wanna hear some rhythm. 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 I want 1,000 guitars. I want the pounding drums.
Another Chatham Bars in call to the bullpen. Jake Faherty into the game out of Arkansas to try and close this one out for the Gatemen. Wareham 8, Chatham 2 as we head to the bottom of the 9th. Will Gasparino leads things off in the 1 hole for Chatham. Faherty comes home. And he finds the zone with 95 on the gun, strike 1. Right on right matchup. Gasparino came in for Austin Overn in center field, a defensive replacement in the 8th. 0-1. Taken for a strike. 0-2. Faherty in 3 appearances has gone 5 innings and given up 2 runs so far this summer. Good for a 3.60 ERA with the Gatemen. One of a couple of returners to the pitching staff from last summer. His 0-2 just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2. Flicked back to the screen. Gasparino trying to end what has been a 14 straight AB streak where he's gone hitless. Hit a home run in his first Cape League at bat. And the next 14 he has been retired. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Gasparino down on strikes to start the bottom of the 9th.
Number 24, Kyle Lodis from Georgia Tech.
Brings up Kyle Lodis with 1 out, nobody on. We've talked about Lodis in the field. At the plate tonight, he's 1 for 3, a single, a walk, a run scored. Another right-on-right matchup. Faherty comes home and pumps a fastball up and in. Ball 1. 97. The latest out of the hand of the righty from Arkansas. 1-0 pitch. Taken for a strike. Eight runs on 8 hits, 3 errors for Wareham. 2 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Chatham. Bottom of the 9th, nobody on, 1 out, the 1-1. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Couple of road trips coming up for the Anglers. Taking on a now 8-3 YD squad tomorrow, 5 o'clock first pitch. Red Sox beat the A's 2-1 earlier this summer, 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lodi's. And then on Saturday, Chatham goes to Bourne, a 6 o'clock first pitch. A's beat the Braves 5-1 in the first matchup here at Veterans Field earlier this summer. 2-2. Just above the zone. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lodi's trying to start a rally here in the 9th for Chatham. A's trail at 8-2. Three-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Lodi's goes down on strikes. He turns around and asks if he swung at ball 4, which he did. 2 strikeouts to start the bottom of the 9th for Jake Faherty. A's down to their final out. Chatham in danger of dropping to 5-6 with a loss. Win would put the Gatemen up to 9-2 after Wareham finished worst in the West last season. 15-27-2. First pitch to Chase Cruson is taken. Ball 1. Cruson came in as a pinch runner for Ike Irish back in the 7th. Makes his first appearance at the dish tonight. Left-handed swinger, the pitch, cut on and missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cruson so far, 4 ABs in 2 games for Chatham, yet to record his first hit. Catcher Jarrell is out to the plate. 2 umpires down the lines come to check on Jeff Merzel, who's a bit shaken up, the home plate umpire. Both trainers are headed toward the home plate area, and Merzel waves them off. So he's good to try and finish this one up behind the dish. Receives an applause from the Chatham faithful still on hand. Cruson digs back in. Faherty retoes the rubber. 1-1 the count with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Cruson late on the fastball. Now the A's down to their final strike. Faherty trying to seal the deal for the Gatemen, up 8-2. His 1-2 pitch. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Chatham led it 1-0 in the first. Wareham jumped out to a 4-1 lead in the second. Gatemen have been cruising ever since. 2-2 offering. Tipped foul at the plate. Cruson stays alive. A's have out-hit the Gatemen tonight 9-8, but trail it where it matters, 8-2. First 2 A's to the plate in the 9th, went down swinging. Cruson trying to put one in play here. Faherty out of the windup, another 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jake Faherty strikes out the side in the bottom of the 9th, and Wareham takes down Chatham 8-2 at Veterans Field. The Gatemen extend their win streak to 6 and keep first place atop the whole Cape League at 9-2. Chatham falls to 5-6 with the loss. Managers shake hands back behind the dish. First 2 games of the summer between Wareham and Chatham split. An 11-1 win in Wareham on opening day for the A's, and an 8-2 victory here at Veterans Field in Game 11 for the Gatemen. We'll get to the final totals, post-game interview, and your post-game highlights when we return. Of course, the Anglers Extra Postgame Show is coming up next here on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Gatemen high-fiving in the middle of the diamond at Veterans Field. That's a red-hot bunch. Wareham has now won its last 6. Again, your final score, Wareham 8 and Chatham 2 at Veterans Field. Cape Cod Postgame, Anglers Extra Postgame Show is next.
Sports Radio, play-by-play. Go A's, Chatham on GRC.
When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, I wanna be there in my city. Oh, 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 oh. So you think you're lonely? Well, my friend, I'm lonely too. I wanna get back to my city by the bay. It's sad. There's been mornings out on the road without you, without your charms. When the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, I wanna be there in my city. Oh, oh, when the lights go down in the city and the sun shines on the bay, I wanna be there in my city.
Anglers Extra.
Welcome back here on the Anglers Extra Postgame Show. I'm Andrew Selover after Chatham falls to Wareham 8-2 at Veterans Field. The loss moves the Anglers to 5-6 on the summer. The win moves the Gatemen to 9-2 to pace the entire league on the summer. We'll have your final box totals and your post-game highlights coming up in just a minute. But first, we send you down to the field with Jack Smith, who has our post-game interview.
Thank you, Andrew. I'm joined with Pierce George here for the post-game interview after Chatham falls 8-2 to the visiting Wareham Gatemen. Pierce, you give up a grand slam on your first pitch, but then settle in and end up going 4 innings for Chatham. How'd you feel out there today in the loss?
You know, it was good. You know, it felt good to get out there and kind of, go for more innings than usual. It stinks we didn't get the win, but it was nice to be able to settle in and just kind of give my team a winning chance.
When's the last time you pitched that long in one game?
Oof. Probably beginning of the year, probably against South Carolina. Yeah, probably came in for relief, 2.2 innings. Yeah.
What'd you tell yourself after giving up the home run that allowed you to settle in?
Yeah. So, I mean, I just asked God to give me the willpower to just keep going out there and staying focused for my guys and just giving myself and this team a winning chances. It's just kept it simple and, just did what I could do.
What'd you learn about yourself as the outing went on in this league?
That I can go for more than one inning. Because usually I'm just coming in to close games, and so it felt good to, come in middle relief and go 4 innings.
You guys split the homestand 1-1. Where does this team need to go now after falling back below 500 at 5-6?
I mean, we just need to keep, being a team, just keep supporting our guys, staying in that right mindset and just, loving one another and just fighting for one another.
For you, what's the next step through your season?
To just go out there and get a win. I love winning. It stinks to lose, but just go out there and just keep having fun because this is a blessing,
Your family's in town. You mentioned they've been here since Tuesday. How nice has it been to have them out here to support and watch you play?
It's been awesome. My family's everything to me, so just having them out here to watch and to have a good time is awesome.
What have you done with them in Chatham outside of the baseball field?
I have 2 sisters, so they love shopping. So I've been dragged through going shopping and stuff. But it's time well spent as long as I'm with my family. So,
buy anything for yourself?
Not yet.
Well, shopping's next on the list for Pierce George. Chatham falls today to the Wareham Gatemen by a final score of 8-2. It's raining, so we'll wrap up the postgame interview and send it to Andrew Selover for the rest of the Anglers Extra postgame show.
All right, Jack, standing by with Pierce George after Chatham falls on the evening 8-2 to Wareham. The final line for Pierce George, he goes 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, gives up 3 runs on 2 walks, a hit batter, and 5 strikeouts. And as you heard there, that's the longest he's gone in a while. Usually he's out there for just an inning, but he goes 4 innings tonight. And with that, let's jump into your post-game highlights here on the Anglers Extra Post-Game Show. The post-game show brought to you by the Chatham Bars Inn, New England's premier oceanfront resort. And your post-game highlights brought to you by Touchstone Closing. Chatham escaped a jam with Liam Paddock, the starter, leaving 2 in scoring position in the top of the first. And so with the Anglers and Gatemen tied 0-0 headed to the bottom of the first, Chatham's leadoff man Austin O'Verne was trying to get Chatham in front tonight. And after he singled and reached second on a pass ball, Kyle Lodee struck out. And then Austin O'Verne was trying to create more magic on the base paths for the Anglers. A's all on the top step, pitcher still in the dugout in the first inning. As Tejeda comes home, O'Verne takes off, pitch in the dirt, double clutch. Gerald throws it into left field. O'Verne takes off. Murph Gray gets to it, and his throw is way late, and Chatham takes the first lead. Again, Austin O'Verne's speed is causing defenses problems. He takes third and scores on an error from Jacob Gerald. So Austin O'Verne by himself again, just with his legs on the base paths after a single, comes around to score an unearned run there in the first inning. The A's would leave Ike Irish over at third base in that frame too. So Chatham had a 1-zip lead headed to the top of the second, but that's where some problems started to set in for Liam Paddock. He walked a batter and hit 2 batters in his first 4 faced in the second inning. And so the bases were loaded full of Gatemen with just 1 out, and Chatham went to the bullpen and brought in Pierce George, and he was ready to fire that fastball on the first pitch he threw out of the bullpen, facing Brendan Summerhill with the bases juiced and 1 out. Top of the lineup with 1 out against Pierce George, Brendan Summerhill, the lefty, digs in out of Arizona. First offering, fastball that's hit high in the air, deep toward right field. Back goes Larson, he looks up, and it's gone! A grand slam for Brendan Summerhill that catapults the Gatemen to a 4-1 lead in the top of the second inning. So one swing of the bat gave the Gatemen a 3-run advantage there in the second inning. The defense would settle down, and the pitching got a little better over the next couple innings. So we jump ahead to the bottom of the 5th. Still 4-1 the lead for Wareham, and Chatham had 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs for Iva Arquette, trying to get the A's back in the game with Chatham trailing it by 3.
He brings it home. And Arquette hits it back up the middle. On a backhand, Bozer has it. He gets to his feet and he holds his throw. Lodis comes in to score. Bay to third. And Arquette picks up an RBI with a single to move Chatham down to just 4-2.
So an infield single got the A's back within 2, but that was all Chatham would muster. The Anglers left them at the corners in the 5th inning, so jump ahead a half inning, and the Gatemen trying to respond. Their lead trimmed to 2, and with 1 out and 2 runners in scoring position for the Gatemen, it was Brendan Summerhill up again, and he was the first batter for another new pitcher, Tyler Kozera. Feels like deja vu for Chatham.
Kozera delivers, and Summerhill breaks his bat on a ground ball past the third base bag. Just fair. Both runs will come in to score as Summerhill heads for second. John Bay gets it in from the left field line, and Summerhill adds 2 more runs batted in to give the Gatemen a 6-2 lead.
So a 6 RBI night for Brendan Summerhill, who finishes up a triple shy of the cycle, and he was the difference maker. He proceeded to steal third and score on a pass ball that made it 7-2 halfway through the 6th in favor of the Gatemen. The only other run to come in tonight came in the top of the 9th off of Jet Johnston, as an RBI single from Sam White made it 8-2, driving in Murph Gray. And that brings us to the bottom of the 9th, when Chatham was down to its final strike, and Chase Cruson trying to extend the game against Jake Faherty. Faherty out of the windup, another 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Jake Faherty strikes out the side in the bottom of the 9th, and Wareham takes down Chatham 8-2 at Veterans Field. The Gatemen extend their win streak to 6 and keep first place atop the whole Cape League at 9-2. Another impressive night of baseball out of Ryan Smythe's group. The Gatemen go to 9-2. Your final totals tonight: Wareham wins it with 8 runs on 8 hits, 3 errors for Wareham in the field, and 9 Gatemen left on base. For Chatham, 2 runs on 9 hits, no errors, and 10 left on base. Sam Meddert gets the win for 2 scoreless inning toss out of the bullpen for Wareham. Liam Paddock, the loss. The starter for Chatham goes 1 1/3, giving up 3 runs on a hit, 2 walks, and 2 hit batters. Start time tonight was at 7:02. We finished up at 10:14. A grand total of 3 hours and 14 minutes of baseball. 2,115 fans were on site to see an 8-2 Wareham win over Chatham. That'll do it for us tonight here at Veterans Field. Gatemen try and make it 7 in a row tomorrow when they host Hyannis at 6, and Chatham tries to get back in the win column and back to 500. 5 o'clock first pitch tomorrow at YD. Join us at 4:40 for the Anglers Extra Pregame Show. With Jack Smith, I'm Andrew Selover saying good night. Thanks for joining us on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
Chatham Anglers Baseball 2024 has been brought to you by Chatham Bars Inn, Chatham Clothing Bar, Touchstone Closing, Mahi Gold, Chatham Hardware, Sweet Tomatoes Pizza, the Red Nun Bar and Grill, Short and Sweet Ice Cream, Cape Cod 5, and by the Chatham A's.
Chatham A's Baseball, Sports Radio, play-by-play, summertime on Cape Cod.
This has been an exclusive presentation of Chatham A's Baseball on TRZ Team Line.
Chatham on TRZ.